time, and we are here to review the Snyder Cut. My God, this is a long time coming. I'm happy for Zack Snyder, and I'm happy for the fans because this is a movie I have so many thoughts on. And I can go on for so long about why I feel the way I do. But before I do that, I will introduce my boy Tom, and I will say that we will have our man Larry coming on later during the show, so be ready for that. I can't wait to hear his thoughts, but until then, Tom, how are you doing?
I'm well. We finally got the movie. We finally got the Snyder Cut. They finally #released the Snyder Cut. And, it was actually much better than the theatrical version by a wide margin. Like, wide.
Mm-hmm.
Wide margin. It's like, I want to hit everyone who was involved with the 2017 theatrical, who'd made those changes. I want to hit everyone involved. Jeff Johns, smack. Joss Whedon, smack. The head of WB, who was subsequently fired because he was sleeping with actresses and promising them roles, smack. Okay, everyone gets a smack, except the actors and, Zack Snyder, because he had nothing to do with that. I'm very, very happy that this movie exists.
Mm-hmm.
They did it. They released the Snyder Cut. It's long, it's glorious, and it exists. And
I have a potentially bold statement, and I'm pretty firm on it after really because since it's been a while since the movie came out, I've had a lot of time to think about everything and rewatch certain scenes and discuss it with my friends who also watched it, and I'm firm in saying I think this is a top 10 comic book film. I'm not gonna lie. I mean it. I think it's top 10. I think it's that good. I don't have any major problems with it at all. I have a couple minor ones at most, and they do not deter at all from the overall scope. So really, I am amazed at what Snyder was able to do, and this guy is such a visionary when it comes to storytelling. And me and my friends, we went into this movie. Well, we had hope. I was hopeful at least. My other two friends were like, I know it'll be different, but like, how good could it really be? And they all just were jaw to the floor, just shocked at what they just watched, and they couldn't believe how good it was. And I was in the same boat. Like, I knew it was going to be a good movie, but I never envisioned it being what it was. And it's a masterpiece. I mean it. It's a true masterpiece in storytelling, the score, the cinematography. Everything about it was perfect. The character development, the depth to everything. It's a phenomenal movie. I'm just so happy.
I really like the movie. It's a good movie. They did it. Getting into the meat and potatoes.
Oh yeah, Thanksgiving, baby.
Yep. I do have a question. How did you feel about the aspect ratio change, by the way?
This is a fun one, actually, because I went into it a little like, I'm not sure how I'm going to feel about this, but
you get used to it.
I got used to it, like, very quick, literally within, like, 2 minutes. And
yeah.
B, I actually think Snyder was right in saying it enhanced the experience. I mean it. I think that it really served this movie well, because he filmed it knowing it was meant to be filmed this way, and those shots you get of the top part of the screen, I was trying to think to myself, like, what would it look like if you had the black bars on top? And I was like, no, I think for this movie in particular, it worked better with this aspect ratio. So that's a very good artistic choice by Snyder, and I respect it. I thought it was great.
Yeah, they meme the memes about the thing that plays at the beginning where it says this was in 4:3 aspect ratio to preserve Zack Snyder's creative vision. That's gonna be meme to death. But yeah, I do agree that the aspect ratio was not an issue at all. It was actually kind of a fun little change. It would be cool if they dropped like a full screen version of it as well, but like
still, I don't even need it.
Still doesn't really matter. They They did a really good job with the movie, and and you really do get used to it. It actually does enhance it a little bit, in my opinion. Especially if they were to make it, I think the reason it's in 4:3 is because it was intended for IMAX, if I'm correct. So I would love to see this movie in IMAX. I know it's a 4-hour movie, and I know we're in the middle of a pandemic, but I would really, really like to see this movie in IMAX. I think it would be glorious. It would be bombastic. That's a big word. It would be the bee's knees.
Wow, you went to the bee's knees.
Wow. I went to the bee's knees.
I mean, I really do agree, man. The aspect ratio was very cool, and just looking at the whole movie, I mean, the amount of improvements that were made are just nuts. I mean, I was so in love with Steppenwolf as a villain, honestly. I mean, I didn't expect that at all. I mean, the first movie, he was so bland. The design was boring. There was no real motivation that was intriguing for the character at all. I mean, it was just not a good villain overall.
Hi, Larry.
Hi.
Larry's arrived.
I was a little late.
It's alright, no problem, man.
It's all good. Larry, how are you feeling, buddy? How are you feeling about the Snyder Cut? It exists.
I am currently in love and obsessed. So
yes,
I've seen it 3 times already.
Yes.
Every day I have to wake up and decide: am I going to waste the entirety of my day watching this again, or am I going to be productive? I stayed up till 2 a.m. to watch it the day it dropped. So I was very excited, and I really enjoyed it. I had a good time.
How did you feel about the aspect ratio? We were talking about that a second ago.
I do think it is a little bit strange when you first start watching it, but you kind of just blends into the background at that point.
We just said that. You get used to it.
Yeah, and I'm obsessed with it now. I'm shooting this web series in the summer, and I'm thinking about shooting this very specific episode in that aspect ratio because I think it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
So I'm I think there is something about a quality to it that I really enjoyed.
Yeah. It's something, it was intended for IMAX, and then we were just talking about, we would love to see this movie in IMAX screens, even though it's 4 hours long. Yeah. I mean, seeing that in IMAX would just be a dream come true, because, that's a movie that deserves to be in IMAX. If there's ever one that deserves to be an IMAX movie. Yeah. Especially, the sequels, the planned sequels. Those would be, automatic IMAX. Yep, gonna have to go. Gonna have to pay my $30 for that.
I was really sad that they didn't do some kind of, small little, weekend release for this in theaters, because I would have gone to go see it in theaters, absolutely.
Hashtag mask up Larry. But, yes. I think I would have, too. But they did not do that because Warner Brothers hates money, apparently. But streaming service release, very fun. But, But I do have something to say about these streaming service releases. I've had this problem dating back all the way to Daredevil season 1. Okay. This is a pet peeve of mine.
Okay.
You release a movie, a big movie, on the Thursday night, 7 o'clock, right? You get early showings. You can't release your streaming service show or movie at midnight Eastern time. You can't just. Why do we have to wait till 3 o'clock in the morning? It's stupid. Yeah. It's stupid. You just drop it a few hours early. I mean, they dropped WandaVision 10 minutes early. Thanks, Marvel. You really did us a favor. I stayed up till 2:50 instead of 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
just come on. I mean, it's stupid. Stop doing it. It's not nice. Thank you.
I think it's because they're running on California time.
Yeah, exactly.
And so 12 for them is 3 or 2 for us. So
fuck Burbank.
Fuck that place.
Yeah. Good luck getting into the industry now, Tom.
Damn. I mean, I am pretty thrilled just to be talking about this movie. The fact that we got it's amazing, and
The story behind it is just amazing.
I mean, it's amazing. It really is, and just the thought of us really never getting sequels potentially is very sad. But with that said, I'm just grateful we even got this right now. So it's a step at least. I would say that this is a big move for not just Snyder, but other directors that maybe didn't get their visions. I mean, I think we still have a shot at getting the Ayer cut for Suicide Squad. Honestly, I think that's very much in play from what I've been told. So that'd be interesting.
There's one person we love more than anything right now. It's Jared Leto. Hink, wink, 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 wink. No, okay, that was a joke. That was a joke. That was a joke. That was a joke.
We could talk about him later, but
yeah,
I have some things to say, but yeah.
I do have to say though, I do have to gloat a little bit because the last time Larry was on, I went on a rant about how like Zack Snyder gets too much shit. Mm-hmm. Okay. Who's eating crow now, motherfuckers? 74 on Rotten Tomatoes. Ha.
It deserves much better.
It does deserve much better, but you know, certain people just will not accept the fact that Zack made a good movie. There are some people that really would just like rather die than ever admit that Zack made a good movie. And it's funny because I do have one thing to say is like you have shitty people like Whedon, right? And they gave Whedon a lot of slack for Justice League. They're like, oh, difficult circumstances. That motherfucker is a terrible person and sabotaged the movie, and he gets so much less hate than Zack Snyder.
Yeah. Watching this movie, it was like, man, it's like he just made choices to make the movie worse. Like, it's kind of crazy just watching it. It's like, holy shit. It's just like little things that's like, why would you even like tweak this or change it even slightly? It's absolutely insane.
Whoever cut the Flash scene at the end gets slapped in the face. We'll get into that scene in a minute. Just like, nice.
He should have said that before instead of like the big monologue he had where he should have just gone Dostoevsky and then did it. It would have made the scene like 20 times better. I mean,
God damn. Thank God they didn't cut the Billy Crudup scenes. All right.
Oh, thank God. Yeah.
Because like that, I do have to get into this. Like, every time I watch those scenes with Crudup and Ezra, I get very depressed that Billy Crudup had to drop out of the Flash. Like, I really hope that somehow, some way, we can figure this out. Because I think Billy Crudup dropped out once before, then came back, then had to drop out again due to scheduling stuff. And obviously, because of the pandemic, the scheduling shit kind of, yada, yada, yada. But get Billy back because he looks like he could be Ezra's dad, and he also looks like he could be Jake Gyllenhaal's dad, which is kind of, he's like, what? He had a smile in this movie that like looked exactly like Nightcrawler Jake Gyllenhaal. And I'm just like, oh my God, he might have actually killed his wife. But he didn't. but he did not, as we all know. # reverse Flash.
Yeah. I mean, Flash was one of the parts of the movie that I was so happy with. I mean, I would say the two characters that really got their chance to shine that didn't get it as much in the previous movie, definitely Flash, and of course, as we mentioned before, Larry came on, Cyborg especially.
Yes.
I mean,
Ray Fisher got
both
the shaft.
I mean, Cyborg, I feel horrible for Ray Fisher, man. I mean, the fact that Joss Whedon went into this movie, saw all these beautifully done scenes with Cyborg.
Jeff Johns, too.
I think you can even argue that, like, the whole Cyborg sequence where he's, like, discovering his abilities and what he could potentially do from the little, recording his dad left, like, that's one of the best scenes I've ever seen in a comic book movie. Like, it's that good. It was so well done.
It's such a simple little thing, but it did so much for his character, and without it, it just really, it showed that, like, even though, like, the whole movie, he literally says, like, fuck the world to Diana, but even then, he's, like, you can tell he's kind of
still a good dude.
Yeah, he's still a really good dude, and it's like, I'm like, why, if your whole thing was, oh, we want to make this movie more, like, optimistic and hopeful, why would you cut this? And then I realized it might have just been, like, they didn't want us sympathizing with poor people, but,
oh my God. Like, the scene where he inserts, $100,000.
Oh, that was great.
It's just like, manipulates the system to give someone who really deserves the money, give them their break because that lady was working her butt off. Like, that just goes to show that Cyborg's just a really good dude, and like, it sucks that he had that accident, but now he's been given these incredible gifts to help people even more, which is like a cool thing to think about. Like, now that he's Cyborg, it's like, you know, you give the right person superpowers and you see what happens. That's why I love Superman so much, because like, he's just like a really good guy who was raised the right way. But if you give like Lex Luthor superpowers, oh my god. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, it's the juxtaposition of like I'm a big Smallville fan. I think all three of us are.
Too.
Like, can you imagine if Michael Rosenbaum's Lex Luthor had superpowers instead of Clark? Good lord, the world would have ended.
Oh,
God, that's my Lex, man. That is the best Lex I have ever seen. I'm standing by that one.
Yeah. Clancy Brown's pretty good too.
Clancy Brown is very, very good. I rewatched some episodes of Superman the Animated Series because they're on. Yeah, they're on HBO now, so I was like, oh, I should check this out, because I haven't seen it since I was a kid, and I'm like, man, he is so fucking good.
Rosenbaum has a great podcast now.
Yes, he does.
If you ever listen to it, it's called Inside of You, which is quite funny. He always says, thank you for letting me get inside of you during the podcast. And it's just, those innuendos are some of my favorite things to do in the world, as you saw by my Barbara Gordon tweet yesterday.
You
about
bastard, by the way.
Yeah.
You were wrong for that. You were wrong for that.
Yep. Nobody caught on to it.
Oh, my God. I did. I was...
That's probably one of my best tweets of all time, I'm going to be honest.
You're very proud of it.
I've never been prouder in my life, except my Bale tweet.
That one blew up.
That one blew up. I mean, I would have preferred the Barbara Gordon tweet to blow up, just because, like, sometimes I'm funny, but sometimes I'm just pretty fucked up. But you know, speaking of fucked up, hi Joss.
Yeah, and I guess also while we're on the topic of Batman in a sense, Ben Affleck, fucking awesome. Yeah. I loved him in this movie too. Oh my god. Man.
Yeah.
He was so good. I mean, he didn't even get like a ton of different scenes necessarily, because like, he got some different ones, but it was pretty similar to the original cut, except you cut out the dumb stuff. That was all gone.
Yep, something's definitely broken.
Yeah, I think that's not there. That's
bleeding.
not there.
Oh yeah, bleeding. My bad.
Yeah, and the whole ending, man. He was such a badass, such a badass in that whole ending fight.
Yeah,
so awesome.
I gotta say, I think what didn't work about the jokes, I mean, other than the fact that they weren't funny in the theatrical cut of Justice League.
That might be an issue.
Yeah, but I think it's clear that Ben didn't even think they were funny. Like, he said it like you could tell he just was like, oh fuck, okay, I guess I'll do this. But especially the there's something definitely bleeding line. Yeah. Like it just sounds like he's like saying it through his teeth, and like he just doesn't give a shit. It's
Ben was going through a lot at the time as well. He was going through,
that's true.
He had like a messy divorce, and he was getting drunk a lot. Poor guy. The Way Back is a great movie, by the way. You should check that out. Yes. It's so good to see. Like, by the way, since we're on Ben, is like the last scene, because that scene was shot recently. Those last few scenes.
Yes, you can tell.
He looks great, man.
Oh yeah,
he looks fantastic.
He does look really good.
Because if you remember in the Justice League cut, as we call it, his face was like kind of like plastered, which is kind of what happens when you've been drinking a lot, and he kind of looked a little like bloated, and it was very noticeable, like in between the scenes where you can tell which was reshot and which wasn't. So it was really good to see like Ben's like face actually like return. So congrats on the sobriety, Ben.
Yep. There's this round table for, I think it's for actors like in Oscar movies, like award season movies. Yeah. And he's in it, and man, he is just having such a good time. He always has like this big smile on his face, and it was really nice to see, because just knowing what he had been going through, and I remember like those, I think it was 2018, those paparazzi photos of when Jennifer, his ex-wife, had to come and like
mental breakdown or some shit.
Yeah, They were taking him back to rehab, and like just the juxtaposition of that is just really awesome to see for him. I'm really happy for him that he seems to be figuring everything out, and he has a bit of sense of humor about it, and just like seems to have figured it all out, and that's really wonderful to see.
Yeah. Oh, totally.
He got to date Anna de Armas, and even if they're not together still, you know, even just getting to date her for a little bit, that's a flex. That's a flex. Yeah. Like
he went from J-Lo to Jennifer Garner to Anna de Armas.
The
man does not impressive. The man does not miss. He does not miss whatsoever.
The only thing he's wrong about is his love for Boston sports.
Yeah, that's a flaw. That's a character flaw, I would say.
Me and Luke are hardcore New York sports fans. So we have disagreements with him, Mark Wahlberg, and Matt Damon.
And it sucks because I love them all.
Yes, Boston actors are actually just like those three guys. Like put like Boston actors on like the map. It's like, oh shit, watch Good Will Hunting if you haven't already.
Oh yeah,
fans. Yes.
There you go.
Yes, yeah. I've never been.
Also, there's this not really connected, but there's this really great Boston actor from this movie called Good Time. His name is Robert Pattinson. And, and he's really great. You know, check him out.
Good Time is such a great movie. That's a great one.
Yes, he's totally from Boston. He's not at all British in any way.
If I didn't know who he was, honestly, if I watched that movie and had no idea who he was, I just would have assumed, like, absolutely, that he was from Boston. But
yeah,
is he from New York in that movie?
I can't remember, man. I don't know.
That movie takes place in New York.
He has like a Boston, New York accent. I have no idea. It's
New York. It's New York. It's like Queens, if I remember correctly.
Just edit this out. Edit this out.
Yep. Yeah. It's okay.
The people got to hear that all. The people got to hear it all.
Boston's more like Boston, and like New York's like you serve no function whatsoever. Yeah, that wasn't very good. Forget about it. Yeah.
New York is Tom Hardy and Venom.
There you go. Yeah, that's pretty close.
Yeah, Tom Hardy and Venom is quite a performance if I've ever seen one. That is an auteur cinematic performance that has very rarely been rivaled. You know, getting to act with yourself and eat crabs raw.
Oh yeah,
it's in line with all of his other performances in the sense that I can't understand a fucking thing he says the entire movie, but
yeah, Tom Hardy is the king of being an Oscar caliber actor in which you never know what he's actually saying.
Maybe that's why we think all of his performances are good.
That's
We're just it's a good line delivery.
He works so well with Christopher Nolan's movies because half the time you can barely hear the dialogue in those movies because he's just blasting Hans Zimmer music the entire time.
Shockingly true.
Yes. Just like, all right, Chris, still a great movie. Anyway, watch Inception if you haven't. Thank you.
Yes. Anyway.
Also, watch Tenet if you missed it in theaters.
That score is pretty fucking dope.
I still can't believe it didn't get nominated, but
that's
we're
off
topic.
Yeah,
we're off topic.
Zack Snyder cut, all right? I think another crazy thing that's different between the two cuts, I can't even fathom how they took out Darkseid entirely.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Entirely.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Steppenwolf gets one for Darkseid in the theatrical cut, and that's the only mention or reference to him at all. They don't even reference him in the flashback, the story time sequence.
Because they put Steppenwolf in place of him.
Mm-hmm.
Want to fucking kill them.
And it's crazy because Darkseid, even aside from being so important to the future of the Justice League movies that would have happened, he also is a big part of the motivations of Steppenwolf trying to please his master. I mean, that's such an essential part of the story that it can't be cut out. I mean, that's kind of ridiculous.
I mean, what works about Steppenwolf for me here, I don't think he's an amazing character or anything now, but there's something about how
he's much better.
He is much better because in the theatrical cut, it's okay, what is motivating him besides just, he wants to destroy the world? I'm trying to repay a debt to this guy. I fucked up his plan.
Uh-huh.
There was something kind of not relatable necessarily, but there was something that I could kind of connect to in a weird way. Also, he has the saddest little puppy dog face.
He has a sad face. It's just, I was just about to mention that.
When Darkseid shows up and he's like, my lord, and he looks like he's about to start fucking crying. I want to just hold him a little bit and be like, buddy, it's okay. You don't need to go through this shit. I know you're trying to kill all of us, but honestly,
buddy. I know. It's okay. It's gonna be okay.
And really,
and then he gets decapitated at the end.
Yeah.
It makes matters worse.
They said, "Fuck your problems, man. We don't care." Oh my god.
They cut
honestly,
off his fucking ear first.
the
and then they had to cut his
entire
head off.
design of him made such a big difference for me, man. Compared to the last movie, he's so much scarier in this movie too. Like, it's such an awesome design.
He commands more presence in every scene he's in now. Yeah.
Yeah.
The girth and the size of him. Yeah, it's just.
I have to say, there have only been 2 times in my life in which I've said this before when Larry was on last time, that there have only been 2 times in my life in which I walked out of a movie theater with my dad and we both said, that really fucking sucked. 1, Star Wars, Rise of Skywalker. 2, Justice League 2017. And a big reason for that is because Steppenwolf fucking sucked.
I mean,
in every possible way.
I mean, fucking, we got, unfunny lines of weird Russian family, a red sky in the 3rd act for no reason whatsoever. Okay, that made it look like a video game. Okay, I mean, you got a mustache Superman. All right, a CGI out mustache Superman. Just everything that could have gone wrong went wrong with that movie. Okay. This movie, my dad hasn't seen this movie yet, and I think he's just emotionally scarred. From 2017.
That's fair.
I did introduce my grandmother to the Snyder Cut, and she's going to watch that. So,
that's cool.
So, now, Zach, you're welcome. I just got you a viewer. She's actually a Snyder fan, my grandmother. She likes Batman versus Superman. So, I'm glad someone does.
We would get along then. So.
Oh yeah.
I had to take a shot at BVS there.
It's not a bad movie, but if anything, I stand by this. This movie enhances the previous movies a bit. It does that a bit.
I'm gonna say this. This movie is written about 15 times better, in my opinion, than BVS.
I mean, it's better than Batman v Superman.
I love all the characterizations. I love the villain more, right? Just everything's better in this movie, in my opinion. I do wish they had a warehouse type scene with Batman. That would have been pretty cool. But they didn't. But
I mean, the standout action sequence is definitely the Flash scene, 100%. I think. Can we
just get into that?
Yeah, do we just want to talk about that immediately? Just everything about it and how it's perfect.
My God, score, performance, visual effects, emotional stakes.
The pacing of it. It's just.
God. That is chef.
It couldn't have been better.
That movie immediately, that scene, immediately, English song, immediately, I want to write a Flash movie. That was just my immediate thought.
Yeah.
Just that scene right there is just oh my God, this is what this character can be. And not the Dashevsky guy.
Dostoevsky.
I do have to say, since we're on the topic of Flash, that first scene, right, where he goes into the dog place.
Oh, I love that.
I was a little concerned. I was a little concerned that Ezra was going to play Ezra instead of Barry, right? Because
I was worried. I was like, oh my God, was he always just choking all the fucking time in the original cut too?
And initially I was like, and then the scene hits, and then, thank God, it was a really cool introduction to Barry.
Yes.
And it wasn't, and then you move on in subsequent scenes, and you realize this kid can get serious when shit is serious, which is very nice. It's not always just he's not what he was in the 2017 version.
There was no fucking brunch line, so I think we could say that this character is already at least 25% better than he was in the.
Yes.
Larry, you and I had this discussion that there was there were actually people that thought that the 2017 Justice League Flash was autistic,
Yes.
and it was it would have been great for representation, obviously, but I don't think that was the intention at all.
No.
I think they just made a really quirky character that was so uncomfortable and awkward that you kind of just started to cringe. And it's just
And in this in this movie, he definitely is like the quirkiest character, and I mean, he is pretty much the comic relief character on the team. But like, it works a lot better here because, like you said, it shows that he knows what he's doing. He's not like weird and bumbling. He's not all about like, I just don't understand people. Like, what is brunch? Like, what is it? Like, he's just like, because that was like most of the humor in the last one was like he just like was like bewildered by everything, and for him to be like seemed like he actually had a place in the world.
It seems like he almost gets it more than most in this movie. It's like, you know, with the dog scene, he knew exactly what he was doing when he took the meat snack. He's like, oh.
At first, I was so concerned when he grabbed the meat.
Oh,
I was like,
God.
oh no.
I was like, what the fuck are we doing with this?
What is he gonna do?
I was like,
I there was a brief moment where I thought, oh my God, he's gonna shove it in her mouth.
Exactly.
Like, I was so scared, and I don't know why I thought that. But there was a half second where I was like, oh my God, this is about to get really bad. And then it happened. And then I was like, what is, whoops. I accidentally activated the emergency call on my phone, but I turned it off. So it's
well, once the cops show up in 20 minutes, we'll see you later, buddy.
It's all good.
But yeah, that's it. That thought did not cross my mind.
It crossed mine immediately.
I think you guys have dirty minds, personally.
I still remember. I was literally in my basement with my friends watching that scene middle of the night, and we all just screamed at the same time, no!
Admittedly, I don't know why that crossed my mind, but just for some reason it was like, that's the worst case scenario for how this scene plays out.
Zach,
so just
no.
my head
No. Please.
I don't know why I thought he would do that, because that is not something he would do.
Nothing is off limits for Zack, but yeah, he wouldn't have done that. He's unlike Joss.
Joss probably considered.
Joss would have done it.
He saw that scene and was like, but what if we like had him shove the hot
dog in her mouth?
Yeah.
No, but like he saw that Iris was black, and then he decided to cut her from the movie.
Yeah, he said. Me and my roommate were talking about that, where it's like they even cut out like the Asian and African armies from like the
exactly.
Like, it's fucking crazy. Like, the only POC character he literally couldn't cut out because he was in the movie so much was Cyborg, and I'm sure he even tried.
Silas? No, Silas was in it.
But they took out all the cool shit that Silas did in this version.
Yeah, he cut out Silas' sacrifice, right?
Yeah, Silas kind of like disappears after like the middle of the second act in the original.
And it's like, you want to know what pisses me off about Joss is like he used to like champion himself as like this woke feminist guy, and he's just like the biggest like phony that you'll ever see. If you want to see like a real, guy that gets it in terms of representation, you just have to look at Zack. You just have to look at what he did for, how he fought to get a person of color to play. He wanted Jon Stewart. He wanted, Henry Lennox to come and play Martian Manhunter. He wanted to make Ray Fisher the heart and soul of the movie, right? And and you see, it's just like you had a guy that checked all the boxes in terms of wanting real representation in Zack Snyder, and you replaced him with this fake ass, phony,
I do not trust men that are like, oh, I'm a feminist, just because, one, I don't think feminism needs us. Two, I always question their motives, because more times than not, they end up being people like Joss, and that shit kind of freaks me out now, because it's just the whole thing.
Yeah. Zack doesn't say words, he doesn't say it, he does it, He shows you what he's about. He doesn't ask for like brownie points, like, look, I put a black person in it. Like, he just does it, it's not that Disney brand. It's just logical to him. He's like, yeah, of course. It's like, he doesn't, I just don't understand why more people aren't like Zack in terms of, just doing it. Just do it. It's I mean, come on, just fuck that. Fuck Joss Whedon. I mean, it's very disappointing. It's very disappointing that someone like that got allowed to make a Justice League movie. But, moving on, let's really get into the meat and potatoes of this story. We've been using the phrase meat and potatoes frequently over the past 2 days. But we really need to get into this plot. And we're gonna.
Do we want to go kind of scene by scene as much as possible?
We can, although there's a lot of scenes.
There's a lot of scenes.
like, the opening scene was actually pretty fucking dope.
Yeah.
Okay?
Oh,
Gave
that
me
was
Gave me
amazing.
chills.
It made the
Chills.
Jesse Eisenberg scene in BVS where he says the bells have been rung. The bells were actually rung.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
actually got to see what that meant. Yeah.
Yeah, like, the scream that he let out was a god dying, which is just pretty fucking cool, man. It's just, like, it's always fun to see Henry Cavill in a pose like that, just screaming his head off for 7 minutes in a row,
Yeah.
and being heard around the universe. And was his death heard around the multiverse as well?
Ooh, you went there.
I mean, that is a good question.
I mean, the multiverse is going to come into play if they ever continue this story, clearly, with the anti-life equation, so that's fun.
Yeah, you know what they do? You know what you should do? Flash movie, since 2017, Flash movie is canon.
Okay.
You blow up you merge the universes.
You make this one canon
Yep.
officially.
Yeah, just officially.
Because that was the one thing that bummed me out about this movie is that it couldn't be canon because there's too many indiscrepancies between like the Aquaman stuff.
Why did Amber Heard have a British accent? Did she have a British accent in Aquaman?
No.
She definitely did not, and she did not in the theatrical cut either.
Obviously, whoever directed Aquaman decided that they didn't want to do the accent, and that's
because the accent was horrible.
Well, yeah.
I don't think it was awful, but it would have been better without
I'll
it.
stab him through the heart for what he did to
Oh, okay, in that scene, it was egregious. It was fucking awful.
Yeah,
absolutely. I have to agree.
Amber,
she didn't need to be in that scene. I
think when did he shoot the nightmare stuff? I mean, it wasn't too long ago.
November-ish, I want to say.
Yeah. Either way, let the bastard come. Get out. Get the fuck out. Get the fuck out. Hopefully Superman laser beams her first. And replaces her with Emilia Clarke. So, you know.
Nice.
Yeah. So
listen, you can replace her with a bag of dirt, and I think it would have about the
if
same effect,
if Johnny Depp gets replaced, right, in his Fantastic Beasts, she gets replaced. An eye for an eye, because I'm sure that I haven't read all the details, but I'm sure both people. I think it was just a toxic relationship for both people.
They both seem kind of shitty. I'm not gonna lie.
Yes, I don't think there's an innocent party in this. So if you're gonna replace one, you should just replace both. Okay, just say, because nobody's gonna miss Amber Heard. Amber Heard's not the reason why you go see Aquaman. You go see Aquaman because Aquaman is fucking cool. Okay. Yeah. And Emilia Clarke is cooler. So
you go to see Jason Momoa say, "My man."
Yeah.
Which I was a little sad to see those gone in this cut, but
what now? What?
Well, we could say the Wonder Woman scene in the beginning. They took it a step up, man. That was great. Yeah. I love that scene.
I feel like something to talk about with Wonder Woman is I believe the subtitles refer to it as ancient lamination music, but
oh my god, you got to get into this. Oh my God.
Someone sent me a tweet that was like, it was like Wonder Woman be like, and then it was just like the subtitles on like the scenes where like the and it refers to it as ancient lamination music, which is kind of dope. But
wow.
But yeah, a lot of people were like, oh, it just does it so much, it's so annoying. I thought it was badass every single time. It gave me chills the first time. Like, I don't know. I'm a sucker for that kind of stuff.
Yeah, me too.
Oh my God. In a 4-hour movie though, that must have played 10 times.
Oh yeah.
That played so much that I was like, the first time was really fucking dope. Okay? I'm like, oh, okay. Then you play a 10th time and it goes, okay, this might have lost its luster a little bit.
It didn't lose its luster for me, but
it did.
Every time it happened, I like got a little turnt in my apartment. I was like, hell yes.
You know what you do? You know what you do? We're going to create a Zack Snyder's Justice League drinking game. Every time the lamination music, whatever you called it, plays, take a shot.
Wow.
You're drunk off of that alone, but then added like every time there's slow-mo and you're just
God.
There you go.
You are blasted. You are fucking blasted.
Did the slow-mo bother you guys? It didn't bother me, personally.
I like it.
Yeah.
There was only one part where it bothered me, and I just think it's because it didn't necessarily need to be there. It was the scene where Wonder Woman, like, jumps out of the building, and, like, there's a shot where she throws the briefcase kind of towards camera, and all of a sudden it just goes in slow-mo. I kind of think you could have done without, like, the sudden, like, slow-mo shift, but just that's a personal thing for me.
Yeah.
I think anytime you use it with, like, Flash or anything, I think obviously that works.
Yeah, it was very much like, a little bit like the Quicksilver scenes from the Fox X-Men movies, but, like, cooler in a way. Like, in its own way. It had its own kind of thing to it. I like the song choice in the hot dog scene. That was good. Because I think that's, like, the first time he meets Iris. It doesn't look like they know each other.
Yeah, now we're back on the hot dog. Damn it.
I don't know. I thought it was cute how they, like, both were eyeing each other up, and, like, there was kind of a reciprocated, like,
that seemed
really
to be weird. Like, that seemed to be a little bit weird if, like, she didn't seem interested, but it seemed like there was a mutual kind of attraction there.
Yeah, some people thought it was weird that he was, like, oogling her and stuff, but I'm like, you can tell, like, she's kind of into it, though. Like, she thinks she's cute, too.
Like, as long as two people are attracted to each other, then it's good. Then you're good. It's clear that she was eyeing him as well.
Yes, absolutely.
In a good way. Not like, this guy's creepy. In a way that, that guy's good looking. And now you're gonna have some children in, like, 10 years. And then you're gonna have a whole generation of speedsters. And, we'll probably never get to see them because, I just got really depressed after that.
Well,
but
moving on.
I do want to get into the meat and potatoes. So the opening is basically Ben Affleck finds Aquaman, Batfleck finds Aquaman, and that scene is very much different. No more jokes, no mother boxes being painted on the wall.
It feels like a scene and not like a 2-minute interval just to introduce Aquaman. Like,
it's like, hey, I need warriors. I'm here to find warriors. And so, like, this takes place a month after Batman v Superman, according to Zack Snyder. So Lois Lane is not pregnant with Bruce Wayne's kid. It's Clark's. Thank you.
God.
Thank God, because, like, I really wouldn't have liked that, number one. I mean, no person in their right mind would start fucking a month after their fiance died.
Luckily, it seems like her and Bruce haven't seen each other since the funeral, so that kind of put me at ease.
They don't even, like, know each other. They don't even share a scene together.
Which is probably for the best.
The only time they shared a scene together was the Martha scene in which she was trying to stop him from getting her fiance killed.
That is true, yeah.
I'm gonna fuck the guy that almost killed my fiance. Great. But yeah,
oh, that's so hot. But there's one thing in this scene I think we need to talk about, and it's that blonde lady sniffing Aquaman's shirt. Like,
yes, that was
so funny.
That was interesting.
I'm watching it right now. Oh my god.
I can't say that I wouldn't have done the same, but like,
oh my god, Momoa.
I know he is a special kind of chiseled. Like
I'm straight, but I can't help but stare.
I know, it's like, dude, how do you even like begin?
How does one become Jason Momoa?
Yeah,
I would love to become
like
Jason
physically,
Momoa.
mentally, like
how do I get there?
Also, what was really cool is we found out earlier that he auditioned for Batman originally.
Yes,
which was very interesting.
I think that would have been interesting to see. I think definitely Ben was the right route for the character they were doing. But I mean, seeing that audition clip, I love seeing stuff like that. Like me
too.
Like the Batman Begins with Cillian Murphy, like in the Batsuit and stuff. Like I love those kind of, like audition tapes. I think
there are certain people that like they have a role in your movie, but like they're just not auditioning for the right one just yet. And it's like Nicholas Hoult, I'm sure would have been a fine Batman, but I think Nicholas Hoult would have been like a much better like Riddler or like something like Scarecrow or some shit. Or,
he is an amazing actor. I do hope Matt finds some place for him.
Like what you do is like when you find a good actor like that, you just like find something that fits him. Like Heath Ledger was almost Batman. Like Chris Nolan wanted Heath Ledger for Batman, but he's like, oh, he could play the Joker, and then he just won an Oscar for it. So there you go.
I mean, I love Nicholas Hoult. Probably if I was casting the movie, I probably would have ended up casting him just because I love him so much. But I definitely hope we see him as like Tommy Elliott or
Just
Harvey
something,
or
man.
something. I think he would
You
be really
find
good
something.
with him and Pattinson. I think would work really, really well together.
Me too.
I'm kind of mad that hasn't happened yet. But
Yeah.
back to Snyder Cut. Sorry.
It's all good.
Yes.
Anytime I can gush about Nicholas Hoult, I will do
I
it.
know.
Because
I had to
love him
bring it
so
up.
much.
I had to bring it up.
Well, the next scene, because we already talked about Wonder Woman, is when Steppenwolf makes his introduction finally, which was amazing. That was so epic. So epic the whole
Wonder
way,
Woman,
man.
you said?
Well, we talked about Wonder Woman already.
Oh, who did you just mention? I'm sorry, I cut out.
No, like I said, we already talked about the Wonder Woman sequence, which is right after the meeting between
Aquaman.
Batman and Aquaman. So now we get into Steppenwolf's introduction.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Go
Pretty
for it.
fucking
gruesome.
dope.
Pretty gruesome.
He is so much better in this version.
I know that this was in the theatrical cut, but man, that guy just hates horses so much.
Yeah.
He's like
No, I know.
throwing like
Yeah.
10 horses in this one scene.
Yeah, he just the scene in Themyscira where they're taking the mother, they're trying to get the mother box away from Steppenwolf. Was this done so much better? And I don't remember the theatrical cut
It
version.
wasn't drastically different.
Yeah,
There
there
was-
was.
Yeah.
There
was
wasn't
some additional
much
stuff.
I wish
Yeah.
I do wish I watched the 2017 version
I
before.
couldn't will myself to do it.
but
I was going to, but just had no time. At this point, I don't ever want to watch it again. So
Exactly.
This is the type of movie that like you're never gonna watch the old version again.
No,
it's like
never.
It's like when you get a good director's cut. Like I'll never watch the theatrical version of BVS again. Like if I ever watch BVS, it'll be the Ultimate Edition
Oh.
Yeah, agreed.
because everything actually like makes somewhat sense.
the Whedon cut is made obsolete not just by how good this movie is, but how long it is. Like, there's just more in general to like sink your teeth into. Like, there's, like it's completely obsolete. Like, nothing is missed from the Whedon cut. Like, it's just crazy.
No, I don't miss anything. Although the scene where Superman is next to the Flash and he's carrying the building while the Flash is carrying
that was a little.
That was just a fun scene, but it wouldn't have worked in this version.
I will admit that I did like some of the Superman stuff at the end of the original cut, but
Yeah.
I would rather all of that go.
It's because Cavill was playing. It was because Cavill was playing like the almost like close to like Christopher Reeve version.
Yeah.
Like,
I really like the scene of I don't really like it, but I do kind of enjoy the scene of him and Cyborg where he's like, I kind of like being alive, and Cyborg's like, so do I. Like, I think that's kind of cute, but like.
Yeah.
If that was in this movie, that would have worked better, but it wasn't. So,
yeah. One thing I do love, I hate that we keep skipping it, but I have ADHD, so like whatever. The scene with Superman where he goes not impressed is just like yes, and he uses freeze breath, which is really cool because I don't believe I've ever seen Cavill Superman use freeze breath besides
he does
the
it
20.
in the,
Yes, he does.
He does it in the theatrical cut, but it sucks.
So much cooler in this version. So much cooler in this version.
The fact that it's just like effortless in this cut is like what makes it cool.
Yes, this version is just. I love how like Superman chose like the black suit just for like no reason.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah,
back in
that's
black.
That's pretty cool.
He must be an AC/DC fan because he's back in black, baby. So
Someone should edit that scene where like it's the him taking off scene. They should just put Back in Black over it just to see what it looks like, you know.
Just got Iron Man flashbacks.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
just because we all know Tony Stark loves his AC/DC.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
Yes, but like so they get it together. Steppenwolf gets the box. Themyscira gets fucked up, and then Wonder Woman gets alerted, which is pretty cool. And then she learns about Darkseid. She goes into that tunnel thing, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, that was
that was pretty intense. And then like, what else? What I
think immediately after she goes to Bruce to like tell him, and that's when we get the insanely epic story sequence, the flashback with all the armies of Bannon and all that shit.
You have the gods, the Green Lanterns. I mean, everything, man. It was so cool.
I saw Green Lantern get his hand chopped off.
Oh, dude, when you see the ring just flying around Darkseid, he goes to grab it and he gets attacked. So that was so cool.
Jon Stewart's gonna need that.
Yeah, what's cool about it is like, you know, we know that it's a younger Darkseid in this, and like he
Yes.
still fucks up a lot of people before he only Zeus is fucking Zeus and Ares combined might are able to fucking overpower him.
Yeah.
So it's just it sets up holy shit, how much shit is he gonna wreck when in the next one,
Well, if the nightmare scene is any indication,
a lot.
I think things may not be too good.
Yeah.
For old Bruce and Amber Heard.
Yeah.
I mean, that Flash nightmare suit is actually pretty dope. We got to be honest.
Yeah, I do want to talk about that scene, but I think we should get through everything.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? We're just gonna go in order. Fuck it. Well, as best we can, because obviously
there's a lot of movie.
Yeah, a lot of meat and potatoes, as we say.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, what's after that? We get the scene, right?
And I think we get our introductions to the Flash and Cyborg, but we've kind of already covered those.
Yes.
Yes, we get introductions to those guys, and then they go.
We get the hot dog.
We get the hot dog.
All I'm gonna add about the Cyborg stuff is just bring back Ray Fisher. Just do it. Fuck you for even firing him in the first place. Just bring him back.
Was he fired, or did they just not?
There was a report by I think it was THR that was he was supposed to be in Flash.
Yeah, he was supposed to be in Flash, but is he
it's not
officially?
Happening.
Is he officially he was cut out of the movie, but is he officially done?
I feel like he said something.
I think they said that he left. And then I think he tweeted out, no, I'm not the one who left or something like that. And then there was this whole controversy behind it.
Yeah, because it was obvious they didn't like him talking about the shit that went down. So,
of course.
Yeah.
They were get the fuck out.
I got it. Okay, so I went on the Zack Snyder Justice League Wikipedia because I went in the plot section because I want to just kind of go in order. So Alan joins instantly while Curry and Stone refuse, right? So
I'm watching it right now.
We're done with those introductions.
Cool.
And then Stone joins after his dad and other Star Labs employees are kidnapped by the Parademon, so that's where we get into, and then Steppenwolf attacks an Atlantean outpost to retrieve the Mother Box. So he's got a Mother Box.
Much cooler scene in general, I would say.
Yeah.
I mean, not much has changed, but just
so he's got two.
Yeah, he's
got two. He's got the one from Themyscira, and he's got the one from Atlantis, and then they go to Batman and Superman, and not Superman. Batman, Flash, Wonder Woman go to Gordon. They go to Gordon first.
Yes.
And we see J.K. Simmons as James Gordon. Great casting. Great casting. Hopefully he comes back in something someday.
Give us anything with him back in this role because
not my fucking tempo. All right.
It's this movie to me it makes it obvious that Zack is a big fucking Raimi Spider-Man chill, and we stand him for it. Willem Dafoe and J.K. Simmons, who are both the two best characters in the Raimi trilogy, are in this.
Alfred Molina as the Penguin.
They just needed Tobey Maguire as fucking Two-Face, and it would have been perfect.
Toby as Two-Face is just something because when Toby gets angry and starts screaming. It's almost funny. It's funny, but he's also terrifying. He's got the terrifying yell, like you ever see the movie Brothers?
Yes.
Where he's just going off, and it's oh, yep, he's someone that you just wouldn't want to cross. In real life, I wouldn't want to cross him, just because he's like Black Suit Spider-Man full time. But we will get into that in December when we're reviewing Spider-Man 3, No Way Home.
Yeah, he shows up.
Yes, see ya, buddy. But yes, they get their intel from Commissioner Gordon, and they go to they underneath the island, the water. Yes. What is it called? I'm stupid. Okay, an abandoned facility under Gotham Harbor.
Yeah. It's like a train station or something, I think. 'Cause I think there's train tracks or something. I have no idea, but
it's something. But they rescue the employees, right? You get really cool scenes of Cyborg leading the way. They're doing their thing. Those two guys are awesome, I must say. Flash and Cyborg. Those guys
MVPs
really did.
Of the movie.
Yeah, exactly. Those guys really did. They did the meat and potatoes of the work. Okay, Wonder Woman and Batman, they brought them together.
Potatoes, Tom.
There's actual teamwork in this scene, like the scene where they get the scientists out and the piece of the building falls and Flash runs real quick to dustify it all, but then he misses that one bit, and then Cyborg is able to catch it for him because he misses it.
Yeah, he blasted it away. He's like, fuck that. He's like,
which is pretty cool.
Yeah, Cyborg's fucking dope. I mean,
there's a lot more teamwork stuff in this, which is
exactly.
which is
This
something
is very
that
important.
And
was
then
weirdly lacking in the last one, which I don't know why. But
I hate to mention the third act again, but like Batman does more shit in
Totally.
the third act. Like everyone
Yeah.
does shit, which is nice.
we can talk about this in third act, but like in the original third act, it really just felt like they couldn't do fucking anything together until Superman showed up. Like
exactly. Like when Superman came, it
fucking
just felt
see
like the
your
biggest
babysitter? My
crutch.
God.
It just felt like a total crutch. Like in this, even though Superman obviously contributed so much, it wasn't like
it was more.
we need him.
It wasn't like he showed up to save the day. It was like he showed up just at the right
to
moment.
help out.
To be there. Yeah,
exactly.
I believe in truth. But I'm also a big fan of
justice.
he really did play the Christopher Reeve version for a good
Is this
half
guy
hour.
still bothering you?
Yeah.
Just, well, I knew you didn't bring me back because you like me.
I don't. Not like you.
Oh my God.
He has such a I do like this weird man crush he has in the original cut just because it's kind of cute. But
it's just I understand.
Mm-hmm.
But probably tonally did not fit with Zack Snyder's original vision, I would say. But yeah, we'll get into that later. It's cool.
So,
it was cool to see that.
What do we got next? What we got next, Tom?
What do you think about Martian? Because he comes in with the Martha scene.
Yes. Martian Manhunter.
I'm gonna have a bit of a controversial opinion on this. I think it's cool that he's in it.
Yes.
I'm probably with you. I
kind of think that first scene he shows up where it's revealed that Martha was Martian Manhunter. I kind of think that scene works better if it's just Martha.
Yeah, I agree, actually. I do agree with that. That's a good take.
It's the
far from have to say, though.
Nick Fury is a Skrull thing for me. Like, it works better if it's actually the character.
I have a take.
Yeah.
Because my takes are better, okay?
Wow.
No,
okay.
I'm kidding.
I'm not surprised, but...
I mean, I don't disagree, but...
he sets Martian Manhunter, being that seventh team member in secret, sets everything in motion. Because, like, that talk, inspires Lois to get in place to, be there when they bring Superman back.
Don't disagree, but does he know that they're going to bring Superman back?
No, but that motherfucker is telekinetic or some shit. He can see the future. All right?
Yeah, but him being the officer and everything, it feels like that was kind of a retcon there.
It was definitely. It was a retcon of the highest degree.
That scene was not shot to be the way it played out. But, like,
I
think there's a version of that end scene where you have the general show at Bruce Wayne's house, and he's like, hey, look, just so you know, like, I appreciate what you did. And Bruce Wayne's like, how the fuck do you know this? And then he turns into Martian Manhunter.
Yeah.
He's just, let's just say I'm a friend. And then he's like, oh, okay, well, it's nice to have you here. And then, like, flies away. But I kind of think, though I thought the reveal was cool, I still think that's really really good scene between Martha and Lois was kind of undercut by it being him a little bit.
Because I would say in the end, I'm not sure what Martian knows, but it seems like he has his own agenda with, him knowing Lois is the key to everything. So I feel like it would kind of be that, but how would he even know about this? So I guess maybe that could have been explained, but.
And he's like, the world needs you too, Lois. I'm like, for what? Exactly. Like, I like Lois in these movies, and like I'm not someone who hates Amy Adams in this role. I like her in this role, but
I like Amy Adams in everything.
Yeah, I'm kind of like, what do you mean? Like, what is she to do? And then she doesn't really do anything the rest of the movie except for like, hang out with Superman later.
She gives Superman a hug.
Yeah, I mean. And look, like, I'm not saying she's like useless in this movie. I really like what she gets in this movie. I'm just saying, like, he acts like she needs to go off and do something important, but she never does it, and that felt kind of.
Well, I will say
it has to do with the sequels, I guess, because it's really her role is kind of keeping Superman in a good state of mind, basically, which is kind of a lazy role for her, I suppose. But like, that's what it is, though.
I will say though, is if you remember in Man of Steel and BVS that Swanwick, aka Manhunter, and Lois do have sort of like, kind of like a back and forth together, right?
That is true.
So Gerald
so it
Swanwick
could have been
may
him
just
looking out for a
he
friend.
might just be helping a friend out, He's like, yeah.
Okay, you know what? When you put it like that, yeah, it doesn't bother me as much. That's a good point. I still personally would have liked if it was just actually Martha, but when you put it like that, that's actually a good point. Yeah, I didn't even consider that.
And this is coming from a guy who hasn't seen BVS in forever. So I'm smart sometimes. I do have brain damage, I guess, because I get hit in the head a lot. But whatever. I remember that. So moving on. We got Manhunter. I love the design, by the way.
I do like. Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of hard to do a bad Martian Man. Martian Manhunter looks badass. Whatever you do.
People don't like it. I'm just like, what did you expect it to look like?
Like, it looks like Martian Manhunter.
Yeah.
He just basically did the comic book Martian Manhunter design. All right, cool.
He looks kind of similar to the Supergirl version, and I mean that in the highest regards because he looks like Supergirl. So I mean, like, it's whatever.
And some call me the Martian Manhunter. That is a great line delivery.
He has a great voice for it. Absolutely.
Remember he announced Batman versus Superman by reading the Dark Knight Returns line. Yeah, that was a great time in my life, and then the movie actually came out. Whoops, sorry for the shot, Zach.
I believe next we have the revival of Superman.
No, we don't.
No, what's next?
Because you're false, sir.
All
right.
What is it? It's them talking, isn't it? It's
Yeah. Well, they talk together, and then I'm reading. Hold on.
I really like the version of that scene just because I like that.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
Oh,
it is.
I like that it's a decision that all of them come to unanimously. And
it is.
It's not just Bruce like, we need to do this, like we have to do it, and everyone's like, dude, chill the fuck out. And he's like, no, we have to bring him back. We have to bring my boyfriend back. Like, it's like
yes, that was that in the Justice League version. That was actually kind of weird, but it is actually the resurrection of Superman. But right before that,
the graveyard scene, right?
Victor Stone, and Victor Stone tells them like his origin about like, what his dad did he used the mother box to, keep Victor alive and become what he actually is now. Mm-hmm. So like that was a really great scene with the football scene, and then you see his dad wasn't in the stands and his mom, he was crying in the car with his mom because Ray Fisher is a hell of an actor and they should keep him around forever. Yes. And the car accident happens, and it's just very sad because he's crying, and then the car accident happens. His mom dies, but Silas Stone, he's like, I'm not letting my son die, but like he uses the mother box, and that's how Cyborg happens. That's the origin. You gotta. Yeah. I think that one scene just kind of debunked ever necessitating origin movies ever again. No more origin movies. But yes, and then, yeah.
But, I think we're at the graveyard scene now?
Yes, they dig up, because they have to dig up the body, where Clark Kent's grave is actually where Superman is buried, which is nice.
There's two moments in this scene that I really love. I love Barry saying, he was my hero too, because it just adds a bit more weight to the actions that they're committing right now. And it adds a weight to Superman in general in this world, I think. I also love when Diana and Arthur are talking, and they both realize they have the same saying in their cultures, and like they're kind of and they sort of don't want to work together because of the weird standing that like the Amazonians and the Atlanteans have. But then they realize
Flashpoint reference.
Yeah, and they realize they have a lot in common, and I'm like, that's really dope. And it was just like this little moment, but it did a lot for both of them and like bringing the team together and stuff.
Yeah.
And, I really loved it. And it was so simple, but it just was so effective. I mean, crazy.
It's
crazy
pretty cool how Superman, Aquaman, and Wonder Woman, they're all like gods in their own way. Mm-hmm. If that makes sense. Like one's god of the sea, one's god of Themyscira, and one's, from Krypton. And he's basically a god of Earth, I guess you can say. It's just really cool. I like seeing that shit because like you got the Avengers and they're all regular people, which is cool in their own right, except Thor, obviously. But this in the DC universe, this is why if like the Avengers and the Justice League ever fought, it would be a bloodbath in favor of DC. Yeah, because like what is fucking Captain America gonna do against Superman? Gonna try to shield every move? Don't think so. But yes. They're time to bring Superman back. They get into Star Labs. They break into Star Labs, and Silas Stone,
is there.
Yeah,
He's actually present within the scene.
Yes, he's actually there. And the shot where the door opens and the League members walk through is just so fucking cool. With like the alarms going off and they're just casually strolling through.
Also, I love how good of a fucking dad Silas is in this scene. Like he's like, no, this is a false alarm. Someone's hacked us, and then he realizes. And he's like, nope, never mind. It was real.
Yeah, like, I got you guys. I got you.
Like, I got your back, son. He's like, even if you fucking hate me, like, I'm still gonna.
What a legend.
Yeah,
like,
Silas, the dynamic between Silas and Cyborg is actually so dope.
The final scene broke my heart with the friggin' recording later, but we'll save that.
Even though their relationship is very much on the rocks for what he did, for what Silas did to keep Victor alive, it's still. You know, you see that he's still very much his father and that he would do anything for his son, which is why he did what he did to make him Cyborg, to keep him alive. And now, you know, he hooked the guy up. He helped him out. And then, you know, they go to the Kryptonian ship because Star Labs, as it was revealed earlier with the Ryan Choi scene, they have the Kryptonian ship. They're under like a defense contract and they get to, you know, dabble in Kryptonian technology and all alien technology. Star Labs, baby.
Oh, and we forgot to bring up one of the best lines. It's Ryan Choi looks to Silas Stone when he's using the heating laser, and he says, "You're looking at the hottest thing on Earth," which is the exact words I said to my prom date.
We said that before.
Yeah,
I said that earlier.
Oh, yeah. You did?
I've never heard a more relatable line in my life.
So funny.
But yes, and by the way, Joss Whedon, fuck you for cutting out Ryan Choi.
He did. I mean, like, he didn't have the biggest role, but like, honestly, he was so cute and just like he was just adorable and like he was so wonderful and
wholesome. I think
he was wholesome. And like, you know, it's cool just to have another character like that just in the universe and like, hey, like, who knows what he could become, you know? Like, that's kind of cool.
Yeah. And he becomes the director of Star Labs, if I remember correctly.
The director of nanotechnology.
Boom. I wonder what that may bring in his future.
Bring him back for Justice League 2 if you make Justice League 2.
And remember, Zack Snyder, the actual king of representation, actually planned to give Ryan Choi his own movie.
Yep.
Unlike Joss, who cut him out of the movie.
All I'm saying is, if I think the numbers for this are going to be huge. I think WB would be stupid to not even consider having Zack do like at least one other movie.
The numbers are crazy so far, man. I've seen them. It's ridiculous. Like, this movie's blowing up bigger than I ever could have imagined.
I haven't been on Twitter today, so I don't know if they've finally dropped the numbers because I've been waiting all weekend for them to drop.
They dropped some. Let me see if I can find them as you talk.
Oh yeah, please let me know because like I do want to know how big this is because I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility that we could get some type of continuation in this universe. Like, I would love to see a JL2 that kind of wraps up the story how it was meant to, you know?
You know what? Instead of making a Justice League 2 and 3 that are both 2 hours long, just make a 5-hour Justice League 2.
And that's what I'm saying. Just shove all your ideas into one. Do Legion of Doom. Put Ryan Choi as the Atom in there. Bring in the Green Lanterns, you know? Like, do everything. Like, who gives a fuck? You can do anything.
Blow the proverbial load of Zack Snyder's brain.
I personally would not even give a shit if it was, like, animated. Like, I don't even care. I would just I would like to see the story concluded, like how it was meant to be.
Yes. So they bring Superman back, and Flash gets a cool scene where he, you know, he reverses time because initially he was a little too late, so he reverses.
That shit was so fucking cool and was such a good setup for what was to come later. Like, holy shit! And do we want to talk about what we see in the Cyborg's little nightmare vision?
Oh yeah. That was pretty cool.
I forgot to mention that.
That shot of Wonder Woman on the burning altar or whatever, it was gorgeous. I was like, holy shit, that's pretty fucking dope.
Very creepy.
Yeah, very creepy, very unsettling. That shot of fucking Kilowog with his chest ripped open
then we got Darkseid stabbing Aquaman through the heart. Which is,
was that him stabbing Aquaman specifically?
I believe that was Aquaman.
Yeah. Oh, I thought it was just an Atlantean, but maybe it was Aquaman. I couldn't really
I saw
tell.
long hair, so I just kind of figured long hair Atlantean equals Momoa. And it also makes sense why Amber Heard says, "I'll stab him through the heart" for what he did.
Oh, okay, yeah, good point.
Boom. And then you see a decapitated Batman's head, which is interesting. If I don't know if you caught that.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
My roommate's like a massive Green Lantern fan, so like he was happy to see some Green Lantern representation, but he also was sad like the two Green Lanterns that were in the movie were like fucking dead. But also there's this really awesome shot of Superman crying over what I'm assuming we're supposed to believe is Lois's burnt up body.
Lois' burnt toast body.
Darkseid comes and like puts a hand on his shoulder, which like gave me chills. Like legitimately was like what the.
I do have something to say about that shot. That shot is from Man of Steel, in
It
which
is
Superman is holding Zod's body after he kills Zod, and then
I would say integrated very well. I did it
very well.
I did not notice until you pointed it out. Like
you can tell because Henry Cavill isn't balding in that shot.
He looks a little bit younger too. Yeah. Like as soon as you said it, I rewatched the movie with my roommate after you had said it, and yeah, like I was like, oh wow, it really is. That's crazy. But
I noticed it immediately. I was like, yep, I noticed that little shit. And he did it in the nightmare scene where he lands.
Yeah,
and he lifts his eyes.
We can talk about that later because I don't think that was integrated quite as well. But we will.
Yeah. Whatever. You
I thought you great
in your role because
COVID, I know.
Henry Cavill's busy with The Witcher right now. You know.
Understand. I do have things to say, but we will wait till we get to the end. But
yes, we'll get into that. Au contraire, my little fish stick. All right,
Superman's back, and you know, he goes to the shrine, or not the shrine, the memorial, I suppose.
Yes,
memorial. And I'm happy that the moment with Cyborg where he's like, my defense system, it senses danger. I'm happy that was a Snyder thing because I actually did like that in the theatrical cut. I thought it was a neat little moment.
All the good ideas were Zack's.
It really is crazy how all the good ideas were Zack, but I really liked the sequence. I even liked in the theatrical cut. I thought that was kind of the standout action sequence in the theatrical cut. But to see that like pretty much all of that was Zack, and that there was even more like cooler moments, I was like, okay, that's really awesome.
Yeah.
In this scene, it's apparent to me. I really like how Barry's like the force of gravity just does not affect Barry. How it affects other people, like when he's running. I think that
motherfucker can walk on air.
Yeah, and. That's the shit about the Speed Force that always interests me. I mean, I don't think I've said this yet, but my favorite DC character is Barry Allen. So, like, seeing him, like, manipulate, like, the space around him like that and, like, where he's almost, like, just, like, gliding, like, it was really dope.
I don't know if you've ever noticed, but, like, if you've seen interviews with Ezra, he actually, like, is a big nerd on, like, what Barry can actually do. Like, but, you know, stop choke slamming women. Thank you.
Listen, like, look, I just want to know what the fuck was going on with that because because after this movie, I want to be excited for the Flash movie, like, legitimately, like, this movie really sold me on him as the character, and I want to just know what was going on. I just want an apology because I don't think, like, look, you get drunk, you do dumb shit, like, that's okay, but, like, I just think you need to be, like...
I wouldn't say it's okay, but
It's not okay, but, like, if you were just like, listen, I drank too much, like, I shouldn't have done that, it was fucking awful, like, I'm really sorry. But he hasn't said anything, and that's what kind of is concerning to me.
And Warner Brothers hasn't said anything either.
No, they really have swept it under the rug. I just wish somebody would say something. I just hate the fact that we all kind of brush past that. Like, admittedly,
you know what you do? You know what you do? You go, hey, made a mistake.
That's almost a year ago now, dude. Yeah. Like crazy.
It is crazy. It's like
we really just let that slide. I think.
Yeah. It's like, one, we found out some stuff about Leto that isn't necessarily great, right? Two,
he's always been a freak. I mean,
yeah,
he has his own cult, which is interesting to say the least. Yeah. You got Amber Heard doing her thing. You know, I'm still waiting for $7 million for the charity, Amber, but you haven't donated it yet. And then you got Ezra choke slamming people. It's been messy. It's been messy. The DC, and then the one good guy, Ray Fisher, is the guy getting screwed over by WB.
And here's the thing. Do you remember that weird ass rumor from a couple months ago that like the Ezra Miller thing was for a movie? Like it
was a thing.
Yeah, dude, I remember reading that somewhere, that, like, someone had said, like, someone was like, oh, no, you guys are going to be surprised. Like, that's actually for a movie. And I'm like, well,
I would love for it to be for a movie, but
I would love
Yeah.
It's been over a year, and we don't know what this movie is. Now, granted, COVID, it might be like an indie movie he did, but like, I'm not, that sounds like cap to me. That sounds like some bullshit.
Yeah.
But, it sounds like people trying to, it either sounds like,
that.
it sounds like his PR, like, put out a fake fucking story, or like,
Oh my
someone
god!
made
Oh my
shit
god!
up.
Oh my god! 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 Oh my
What?
god! The promising young woman director, Emerald Fennell, is to write Zatanna for DC.
Oh, shit, that's great.
Yes, she is
Wow.
doing Zatanna. Here, I'll send it to you guys right
Her
now.
fucking
So
director.
we got
That'd
breaking
be
news.
great.
We got the news right as we're podcasting. which
Yeah.
is always welcome. So it's better to get
Let
it
her-
late.
Honestly, let her direct too, because Promising Young Woman was a really good movie, and
Yes.
that I would love to see her do a bunch of shit like this. I'd love to see her get like a Kathy Yan treatment like she did like on Birds of Prey. I'd love to see her just like, you know, take up like this huge movie or whatever. Like that'd be fucking awesome.
I agree. That is a great choice. I'm very happy about that.
Also, I love Zatanna, so I'm excited either way. So
Can't wait for J.J. Abrams to make the safest choice in every single decision of filmmaking possible.
I'm hoping he's just the producer and that they let creatives run wild.
Yeah,
I'm fine with him as a producer, but don't let him in the writing
The
room.
the Rise of Skywalker really kind of took me off of JJ. I do like Mission Impossible 3 though, and I do like the original Star Trek movie. He's made good films. It's just that stop being so safe, man.
Yeah.
He's like a fucking studio's dream. It's just everything we do is.
Society has kind of moved past the need for J.J. Abrams at this point. I feel like I think we could. I don't think we necessarily lose anything if he's gone.
We'll get into that another time, buddy.
Yeah.
Back to the cut of the Snyder.
There will be more news about his Just League Dark thing he's doing, so we can talk about that later.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm excited for that as long as he's just a producer. Because he produces the Mission Impossible movies, which is cool.
That's true.
Do that more and stay away from Star Wars. Thank you. The group, yes, they resurrect Superman. Superman comes back, and that's where we get the awesome scene where the Justice League has to fight Superman. He's about to kill Batman, and then Lois shows up, gives him a hug, and everything's okay. We're not going to talk about the millions of dollars they probably did in property damage. And to the
But I did like seeing that they added back in the stuff of like the heroes kind of like helping like people get out of the area.
Yeah.
I like that Batman stops and is like, "Hey, are you okay? Like, get the fuck out of here." Like,
we also forgot to mention that the cop who who Lois gave coffee to was actually Jimmy Olsen from the original Superman movie.
That's
really cool. Really cool.
Yes, and Zack Snyder also has a cameo in the beginning of the movie as well.
But-
Hi, Zack.
But remember, guys, Zack Snyder hates the Donner movies, and he hates everything that's happy and hopeful. That's why he put the guy who played Jimmy Olsen in the movie, right?
Yeah, of course.
Christopher Reeve was still alive. I'm sure he would have put him in somewhere.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
Rest in peace, Christopher Reeve.
Rest in peace, King.
But we miss you, man. Like
every day.
We miss your heart. We miss your soul.
If you ever thought of a person who got Superman, it's Christopher Reeve.
I always enjoyed that Man on Smallville.
Yes.
Yeah.
He is like the ultimate guy who got Superman. If he wrote a Superman movie, that would have been dope.
Technically he did, I think. It was called Superman for the Quest
Yeah,
for Peace.
that's not what I meant. That's not what I meant. Like an actual Superman movie. I don't want to get into that one. Superman's back. He's alive. But bad news. This is where we get into. Well, we can get into the fight scene, but it was pretty much the same as the Whedon.
Yeah,
fight,
that's what about that.
2 extra moments that weren't in, like Superman just fucking...
Uncle Ben made a cameo in it.
Yeah.
The next Snyder movie is actually going to be Spider-Man versus Superman because Superman killed Uncle Ben, you know?
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. But yes. Batman almost dies. Foreshadowing.
Yeah.
But yes, Batman almost dies. Lois comes, says, "Hey, remember me? I'm Amy Adams." And that's enough to make any man fall out of his rage.
Yeah.
And he gets a hug from Amy Adams. Like
that'll do it.
Here's what I will say. I love how this one actually like kind of explains sort of what happened there, because in the Whedon cut, it really seems like he's actually evil, because like he has that little line, because he's like, "Oh, you won't let me die." Henry Cavill has some weird line delivery in that scene, because he's like doing like this raspy voice, and he's like,
Yeah.
"Let me live."
He just seems agitated.
I know, but then in this one, it's literally like he just didn't remember who he was. Like he just like was confused and freaked out.
Superman.
Yeah.
Instead of evil Superman. So he's
Which,
like,
I mean, like, is that kind of a weird reason to have a fight? I mean, yeah, I guess, but like, at least it was something. Also, the scene after this where they go to Kent Farm, the fact that they fucking changed her line from "you spoke" to "you smell good."
Yeah.
Which I guess I know they had to change it because they actually had him fucking talk in the theatrical cut before that moment. So I guess she couldn't have said "you spoke," but "you smell good."
Yeah.
That's the thing she's thinking of when. I don't know.
Also, I must say, because there is a good reason as to why Superman fought the Justice League. It's the fact that, besides Wonder Woman, he had no idea who the fuck the other three were. He's like, who the fuck is this Flash guy? Who the fuck is this Cyborg guy? Who's this guy with the trident? And Cyborg took a shot at him, so it's like, are they not my friends? And he's like, and he's still coming back from the dead, getting his memories back. He's like, fuck, might as well use my powers. Might as well kick some ass. And that's exactly what he does. And I love the little scene where Flash runs into Aquaman, and he's like, I'm so sorry. And it's just, there is like a brotherly kind of thing between Flash and Aquaman.
It's great. No,
It's
it's
like,
such a funny dynamic.
Like the chemistry between all the actors is actually really good. It sucks that the original cut got butchered, but like now you actually really see it here. And I'm just so happy because it all works so well. Like Momoa plays well off of Gadot and Cavill and Flash and Ray Fisher. It just all works, man, in terms of chemistry. So good job, casting director.
Do we want to go ahead and, because like this does happen right after we want to talk about the Silas's death?
Yep, we have to get into this because Steppenwolf takes the third mother box. # oh shit. Okay. So he gets the mother box. But Silas, in reference to you're looking at the hottest thing on Earth line, makes the mother box the hottest thing on Earth.
So they can find it.
And what I love is Aquaman, I believe, asks, you have a satellite? Batman goes, I have 6. It's just like, and
what a flex.
Usually when a rich person brags about being rich, it pisses me off. But like, yes.
When it's Batman.
When it's Batman, and he's like in the business of saving the world, I'll allow it. I'm going to allow that one. You have a satellite? I have 6. I think it was either Flash or Aquaman who said that.
The freaking Ray Fisher just absolutely goated in this scene.
Yeah.
I also because I thought he was definitely trying to destroy it. Like I was like, I don't know, I was like, does he think that's going to work? But then when he's like, oh no, he wasn't trying to destroy it, he marked it, so now we can find it. I'm like, okay, so this is way better than in the theatrical cut where Cyborg just does his hacking shit and it's like, oh, I found the mother box, and it's like, what? Yeah. How did you find the mother box? You couldn't have done that before?
So fucking lazy, man. Like, it's perfect, man. It's like his dad made a sacrifice to hook his son up to save the world. Silas Stone is the real MVP of this movie.
Honestly, yeah.
He's the one who created Cyborg, right? Number 1. Number 2, well, he created him twice. Oh, dirty joke. And then he marks the third mother box, because without that, our universe is cooked. Darkseid's coming down, and they found the anti-life equation. We forgot to mention that.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
and
yep.
What is that? What is the anti-life?
That's huge.
That's a pretty big deal, yeah.
Anti-life, even just the name sounds cool. I would love an explanation.
I read a theory that the anti-life equation is going to be would have been in Gotham, and that's why Gotham's so shitty. Is because it's over where the anti-life equation was, and I'm like, that would be so fucking cool. Like,
wow.
It's just like an explanation of why Gotham's so shitty. But like,
Gotham's so shitty because anti-life is down there.
That would be kind of cool. But
you want to know what else is under Gotham City?
What?
Thomas and Martha Wayne.
That
You
is
know,
very true.
Tom,
That's
we
very true, actually.
we didn't need to go there.
Yep. Also, Dick Grayson.
Yes.
Hi, Dick. How you doing, buddy? Sorry, he died. I'm not too happy about that. But I believe he was planning to come back, Dick Grayson. I believe Zack was planning on reviving him somewhat.
No, I don't think so.
I think he said something on his Vero account that he would have brought Dick back once Carrie Kelly was introduced, something along those lines. But knowing Zack, he would have turned him into the Joker from The Dark Knight Strikes Again.
No, I don't think he would have brought him back outside of Blackback.
Hashtag evil Dick Grayson.
But I will say, I respect his reasoning for choosing Dick Grayson to be killed over Jason Todd.
Makes sense.
I respect it.
Yeah. I am so curious because we still don't have, like, I know, like, there's, like, a grave in, like, BVS, but we don't ever see it in BVS. And we
didn't see the grave, yeah.
Yeah, and when Joker and Batman are talking about it, they don't ever say a name. They just refer to him as, like, the Boy Wonder. They don't say, like, oh, you let Richard die, you let Jason die. So, I mean, for all we know, if we get the sequel, you know, he could change that, for all we know. So
I mean, he could backpedal if he really wanted to, but he seems pretty adamant about it in interviews.
Yeah,
so he wouldn't. But
that is true. He should do whatever the fuck he wants. So I mean, ultimately, this is in its own universe at this point. So just let him do whatever the fuck he wants.
Of course, yeah.
I'm a comic purist. I would have loved to have seen an Under the Red Hood movie with Ben Affleck, but
you have no idea.
But you can't do it because Batfleck kills people. But
not anymore.
Well. Yeah,
that's kind of what I like. Superman inspires him to be better.
In this movie, Ben Affleck's Batman didn't have any humans to kill because he didn't come into contact with any other humans besides, like...
Hey, at the end of the movie, he has those dudes tied up when he could have ran over them with his giant tank. They were mutants, yeah.
I don't know. But whatever. It's Dick Grayson, and we roll with it. Hopefully Zack was planning on bringing him back, because I'm tired of seeing Dick get the shaft. See what I did there?
Remember we were supposed to get a whole Nightwing movie? Like,
remember when Adam McKay was going to do it, and, like, we haven't heard shit about it yet?
I don't think it's definitely not happening
It's
anymore.
not.
Matt Reeves, hear me out.
I bet that's why, though. I bet
Boys, I know this is the Snyder Cut review, but I have to make a plea with Matt Reeves. Okay? So just give me one moment. Okay?
All
right. Matt, I see what you're doing with young Bruce Wayne. Seems like he's pretty fucked up. Okay, you know what? Could help him restore his humanity. Give him something to strive for. Give him something to protect. A child. Thank you.
That's what he needs.
Yes, can you imagine? Like, there is no Bruce Wayne that would take in a kid more than Pattinson's version, because that guy looks like a guy that would do something like that. Hey,
Snyder just said something that made me very happy.
What did he say?
This makes me like a scene more. He's talking about when he first sees Lois again in the movie. What snapped him back was that he saw the Kryptonian fetus inside of Lois. He said.
Oh.
He said that's what made him snap back.
Super Fox!
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun.
And then he's finally at peace with both of his parents during his flight, because he's going to be a father himself.
Dad Superman is actually...
See, that's awesome. Like, I didn't think of that, but that's very good writing.
Yes, that's actually pretty cool. Can you imagine if he fucked up, instead of using X-ray vision, he used the seat vision and he just killed the baby?
Yeah, because he just forgot how to use it. Like,
whoops! I'm still new to this being alive thing. And Joss Whedon makes a joke because can't have character moments. But moving on.
But okay, real quick, I want to add something to Matt Reeves real quick before we head on. But we heard that I read a thing a while back. This was like probably a year ago now. But like they were gonna do a Bane movie.
Yeah.
Like they were.
Yes.
And then suddenly, like, they just stopped making it. Like, they stopped working on it. Like, they stopped the pre-production planning of it. Which made people wonder, like, well, maybe Matt Reeves wants to use Bane down the line or something.
Well, this is actually going to line up with that, because we've heard, I forgot from who.
Skinny Vampire versus Bane?
I think it was Daniel Richman. He actually said that they plan to do Joker, Bane, and Riddler, I think, as the main three villains of the trilogy, if I remember correctly.
Okay, that's
Mr.
pretty cool.
Freeze keeps getting the shaft.
I know. I need that.
But I'm thinking because like Matt Reeves came on like what early 2017.
Yeah, I believe so.
Have we ever? Yeah.
So I'm thinking if I had to guess, they knew at that point that Ben wasn't the Batman and that they were kind of starting new.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking, though they had that Nightwing movie set up, I think Matt Reeves was like, you know what, I kind of would like to use Dick Grayson in my movies.
Oh,
and
I
think that's why that movie just suddenly just like disappeared off the face of the earth. Didn't hear anything about it.
Larry, I have heard that Dick Grayson is he's not in the Batman from what I remember.
He was in the first draft.
Yeah, he's not in it, but he will be in like what they're doing is like they'll show his origin. Like towards the end, like you're gonna see like Bruce like say, "Time to go to like Haley Circus" or something like that.
That's how they were gonna end the first movie, I'm pretty sure. But they cut that out.
Something around there is like there's gonna be like a Grayson's reference. Like you're gonna see like a.
That's pretty cool, and I would not be surprised if they sneak in an actor to play him in reshoots. Like, just under the wire, just like, oh, look, there's Timothée Chalamet or some shit. Like,
Yes, nothing like having a 23-year-old play a teenager. Hi, Tom Holland. How you doing?
I guess it depends. I mean, like, if he's gonna live with Bruce, I guess he does have to be like a minor, because if he's 18, just like go get a fucking apartment, you fucking.
Yeah. Like, here's the thing. I think I've thought about this a lot, guys, because I've just waited for Robin to be in a Batman movie since Batman and Robin, because Christopher Nolan hated sidekicks and Zack Snyder killed Dick. So I've waited a long time. You just have him be like 16, because like just who's better to like he has an option of living on the streets or living in a mansion. He's gonna choose the mansion. Okay, so 16-year-old kid. Not old enough to live on his own, but not young enough where it's like, hey, here's an 8-year-old fucking fighting crime in Gotham City with murderous psychopaths. That doesn't make much sense now, does it? So just make him be like 16, 15, 16. Give him bow staff, make him badass, does a lot of cool flips, and Robert Pattinson's Batman is fucking nuts. And there you go.
Bang.
Bang. Bang, bang.
All right, I guess we should continue this review. We're getting close. We're at the end almost.
We're getting there. 4-hour movie, long movie.
So now I guess we can go to, because we talked about the death already of Cyborg's dad, so we can go into, I guess where he gets the black suit, or we can discuss the scene in the field first, actually.
Yes. Let's do that, because there's a lot of scenes in this movie, as we know.
We're nearing the end, at least. So
yeah, like Superman gets like some of his memories back just by being at the farm, and like she loved it here. I loved it here. I was like, oh,
really cute.
It's like it gave me flashbacks.
The dialogue was so much better in this cut. There,
it gave me Man of Steel flashbacks.
It did, yeah.
Yeah, so it was like, oh, that's sweet. That's
you
nice.
see, that is the content I wanted more of in Man of Steel. I wanted more of that.
Yes.
Personally.
But, it's a good scene. There's not really too much to talk about in the scene other than it was a really nice moment.
Beautiful
it was
scene.
A good character moment that was kind of needed. You needed to show Superman starting to get his memories back, but Superman is home, right? Mm-hmm. And Superman's home. And then he flies off, goes to save the world. He chooses the black suit purely for aesthetical reasons. There was actually no reason why he wore the black suit. You know what you could have done? You could have had the red and blue suit go black because of the dead Kryptonian, and it shows that like the suit isn't like active anymore, if that makes sense.
Maybe.
Or like, and then like as he wears it, as over time the black becomes blue and the cape becomes red. Something like that, but
maybe, yeah.
Or like I told you guys yesterday, like he's presented with two choices, the red and blue or the black. And
actually, there is a reason why he chose the black.
Why did he choose the black, Luke?
I'll explain. I got a quote directly from Snyder.
Okay.
So
I need to know.
The black suit, you can say that in modern Krypton, when he left, everyone was wearing black suits. So it is sort of linked to, in some ways, the old world. I think it is more a direct relationship to his family, and in a lot of ways, the blue suit, to me, represents his kind of place on Earth. So the blue suit is his sort of a hero and the suit of his destiny, whereas the black suit is more personal in a lot of ways and more about his heritage.
Interesting, Zach. You are wrong, Zach, but okay.
Wow, you can't call him wrong. He's the writer.
We're gonna accept that, But either way, it looks cool. So whatever.
He wrote the movie. You can't say his logic is wrong.
I'm gonna go by saying this: if it looks cool, I usually just accept it, and it looks cool. So now Superman flies off, does a Jesus pose up in space because Zach loves to do that. We have
one last Jesus pose.
Yeah, one last Jesus pose to end them all. And, we got the Hans Zimmer score, remember? And that's always fucking dope. You know what I would have loved? I would have loved to have had that scene where he's flying all the way to the battle. Just blast the fucking music for a good 5 minutes and just have him flying all the way there. You just stay with him as he's just flying over there. But, I don't think I think that could have gotten old a little quick. But, I just like seeing Superman fly. Superman flying in these Snyder films is always dope. You gotta be honest. Oh, yeah. But yes, then let's get into the final battles.
Well, hold on.
Oh, okay.
There's a scene right before that where they're planning to head to the final battle.
Yes.
There's a lovely moment with Aquaman that is so much better than the actual cut. Because I don't know if you guys remember, but in the actual cut, Arthur is on Victor's ass like the entire movie. Like he's giving him such shit. And then
Joss Whedon was on Diana's ass the entire movie.
Wow.
Well, yes.
The Flash was on her boobs.
Oh my God.
Everyone was all over Diana in different ways, but he was like, you're evil, like you're part of the box, so you must be a bad guy, and like he's mean to him the entire movie, and then suddenly, like they're friends at the end, and it's not earned at all. But in this one, Arthur is actually concerned about Victor. Like he's like, this kid just lost his dad. Like he's like he's going through hell. Like, and we're expecting him to like do all this shit. Like that feels kind of fucked up. Like, and I don't know. It was such a nice moment.
I agree. And
it was Arthur empathizing with Victor because Arthur knows what it's like to lose a parent. And I was like, that's lovely. That is
Bruce
absolutely
knows
lovely.
what it's like to lose too.
He doesn't give a shit.
But Bruce Wayne was so concerned with his man crush of Superman that he didn't care. So, but yeah, and if you remember at the beginning of the movie, Aquaman was the guy who made Cyborg explain his origin. So it's like, cause he's like, how do we know you're not on their side? And he just explains what happened. But yeah, so. And
that's all that's needed for him to be like, okay, I got it. Like, cool.
And he's like, that's your origin story. Cool.
Let's
move
like
on.
Arthur knows what it means to be burdened with something he didn't want. So like Arthur doesn't want to be king, so like he gets it,
It was also very nice to see that Aquaman wasn't flirting with Wonder Woman.
Yes.
That was pretty cool.
You're gorgeous.
Oh my God. Just every time we look at the Whedon cut now, I will never be able to look at that movie the same. Gonna be what the hell? Alright, but moving on, because I've said Joss Whedon's name too many times. Final battle time. Time to kick some ass. Hashtag Justice League. Okay? And Steppenwolf's there, trying to unite the mother boxes, so Darkseid can come in, blow shit up. You know the deal. And got the portal open too, and we see Darkseid and Granny Goodness and all those guys. And that's pretty fucking dope. Apocalypse looks dope, I gotta be honest. I would love to. Well, we're getting a New Gods movie, so like.
Are we?
Well, no, they just commented on it today, actually. Or the director
really?
did. Yes, for the first time in forever. Well, because they asked her whether or not it's going to be connected to the Snyder Cut, and she said it would be. So I'm assuming that means it's still happening because she actually talked about it. So.
Bring Ray Porter back.
Still there.
Bring Ray Porter. If depending on timeline wise, bring back Karen Hines. Bring the guy who played Desaj. Just bring them all back.
Bring them all back. Bring them all back. We get bored sometimes. And like bring Syrian Hines back, like you said.
Also, Zach wanted to use the new Genesis, the New Gods. He wanted to use them in his sequels. So I would love to see Orion. I'd love to see Mr. Miracle, Big Barda. I'd love to see all those guys.
They even planned on using Shazam in the trilogy at some point. So that'd be fun.
Shazam.
Just put everyone in the sequel. Just everybody. Who fucking cares?
Can you imagine Zachary Levi with Henry Cavill?
I need that in my life.
I'd love to see him with Ezra. Like, I think
man.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
That's a good one.
Shazam is one of the best DC movies. I will take that to my grave.
It's so good. It's so good.
It's like, that fits so well with the universe as well. Like, it's just a comedic take on, like, how kids see these superheroes and, like,
and that's what Shazam should be, because it's
now they actually got superheroes. It's like, yeah, and then we'll get into that another time when we do it. But Shazam 2 comes out next year. So.
Yeah.
It comes out eventually. Who gives a shit?
Rachel Zegler's in it, right?
Yeah, she's playing a villain, I believe.
Yeah, she's probably going to play one of the three witches from what I heard, so that's
Very
fun.
Cool.
Yes, cool. Luke has a Jersey connection to her.
I do, yes. Because I have a friend who does a bunch of musical stuff in Richfield, and he happens to know her a little bit.
Oh,
and
cool.
She lives, like, literally 15 minutes from me, so, like, she's not far at all.
Well,
you should walk up and be like, you should be like, hey, you have a connection to DC. I know this guy named Larry Cress, and he really wants to direct a movie for you guys for free.
Yes, please.
Hey, I know this guy who would be perfect for Dick Grayson. His name is Tom. Can you go see Matt Reeves?
Yeah, I'll direct the Nightwing movie, and Tom will star. There we go.
Yeah, exactly. I'm in. Just put me in anything. I get bored sometimes. I need friends. And what?
What is brunch?
What is brunch? We never had the answer. We never got that answer.
As soon as we're done with this, I'm gonna have some brunch. Even though at this point it's more of a lunch, but I did not have breakfast.
Well, if you add cereal to it, then it is brunch. So it is what it is.
But what were some good moments in this fight? There was a lot more teamwork between all the fighting Steppenwolf. Barry building up energy to help Victor.
Yeah, that was great.
Of course, gets shot.
Yeah.
When he got shot, that was rough.
Yeah, and he's like, I just got the wind knocked out of me. I was like, oh my god, this is actually like really, this is really gut wrenching a little bit.
Yeah, good acting there.
Yeah, the way he delivered it, I was like, that's how I would be acting in that moment.
Yeah.
And then he has to pull through. Does Flash have Flash does have a healing factor.
Yeah, he has speed healing.
Yeah, he heals in that scene right there.
Yeah. I remember. Yeah, now I remember. Sometimes I get Superman amnesia. Okay, but yes, he
picked the alien rifle and just going to town.
Oh, he was going ham with that alien rifle. If there's ever a time where we allow Batman to use a gun, and it's not really even a gun, it's more like he's using like alien technology to kill aliens, and it's like, all right, that's acceptable. Just don't kill humans. Thank you. But yes, he was going to town in that scene, and that suit looks badass. The Batman suit with the goggles.
Yep.
Yes. Yeah. It looks really cool here. Yeah, it looked really fucking lame in the theatrical cut, but it looked cool here.
Just he was going to town, like you said.
Yeah.
And it's hard to describe because there's a lot of shit going on, but initially, Steppenwolf and his crew are successful in uniting the mother boxes, and that's where Barry has to reverse time. Flashpoint, that kind of wink, wink. But that scene where at the end of the Flash scene, right, where he goes to touch Cyborg, he goes to touch the mother box. The cut from Flash's fingers into Cyborg's eyes is just so dope.
I just love how everything is forming around him as he's running. Yeah, it's so cool.
Yes,
you freaking watch Superman fucking be reassembled. It's fucking dope.
It's just that's how powerful Flash is, man. It's ridiculous. It's so cool. And
it was such a cool way to first show off that character really using that ability, the extent it could be used, the whole the world just reforming around him. It was so fucking.
This kid is so powerful. It's just
crazy.
We've only scratched the surface of what he's capable of, and it's
hopefully Andy Muschietti pulls more inspiration from the Flash, from how the Speed Force should look in this movie than anything else. So
yes, I agree. And then
after that we get that beautiful scene with Cyborg too. Another one, of course, because this dude is amazing in this entire movie.
I'm not alone and I'm not broken.
Dude, dead ass. Yesterday, I was at work, and I just like thought about that. Him going, "I'm not broken, and I'm not alone." I literally almost started crying at work.
Yeah.
Like just thinking about it, like I was like,
someone looks at you, dude. Why are you crying?
"Like Cyborg."
Cyborg made me cry. Sorry,
Borg.
guys. But yes, that was an amazing scene. I really love everything with Cyborg and the Flash is just
Ray Fisher, seriously, the fucking GOAT. Bring him back. I really cannot stress that enough. Just
that was an award-worthy performance. Like, legitimately, it was that good.
Yeah, I mean, just everything pertaining to those two specifically is just like, that really is the heart and soul of the movie, as Zack said when Snyder cut. Yeah, I mean, like Zack said that before.
Yeah, he said that while he was just like, hey, like, I'd like to do it.
Yeah.
It's just like, whatever. It's like, I mean, I can't believe how much all that stuff was cut, but whatever.
And then, next
really, I will say, the thing that works about Ray Fisher for me is that he doesn't overplay it. Like,
not at all.
I feel like if you put that role in the hands of another actor and he's like tortured, you think you get like a lot of yelling and like stuff, but he's just so like soft spoken.
Yeah, it's just kind of like tired.
Yeah, and it feels very human, which is like I think is like what makes it work so well for me. Is that like I can imagine an actor like getting this and being like, "Look what you did to me! I'm a monster." Yeah. Just like really overdoing it. The fact that he just like
does like the opposite. He plays it like almost cool, but like a pissed off kind of cool.
It's like simmering under the surface. Like you can feel it. Like and like he does much just like the half
it's
side
like
of his
hurt.
Face like it's crazy, absolutely insane.
So we have another one of my favorite moments coming up, and this is the death of Steppenwolf. Holy shit.
Yeah,
that was freaking epic. Dude, compared to the first death we had in the last cut, oh my god. So much better.
Did he even die in the last cut?
It was, his own guys attacked him or something, I think, right?
Because they took that line where Steppenwolf was like, "I can smell your fear," and they made that like a plot point. Like they made it like the parademons attack people who were afraid.
Oh my god!
They're like fucking slaves to like Steppenwolf and like Darkseid and stuff. But apparently, if Darkseid ever wants, just like is like, oh shit, the parademons will just fucking murder Darkseid because he felt afraid for a second.
That's so stupid.
I can't remember exactly what happens, but I think Superman's like, "Do you smell that?" And then Batman's like, "Fear," and then Steppenwolf's like, "No."
Yeah,
no!
I remember that scene.
And he like fucking they like eat him alive or some shit.
Remember Jeff Johns and Ray Fisher had a heated debate as to whether Cyborg should have a penis?
Yes.
I just wanted to mention that. I don't know why.
So Steppenwolf loses his head, so that was fun.
If there's one thing I have learned about Joss Whedon is that he has an obsession with robot penis. I don't know what it is. Like,
yeah, Vision must have a penis.
Vision must have a penis.
This is just we have to stop with the Joss Whedon because like
I mean, all of his shit's been canceled, so like he's not involved with anything anymore. I don't think he'll be involved with anything ever again. So
bye, Joss. But yes, Steppenwolf decapitated. Great teamwork on the decapitation, I must say. And then I love how Darkseid steps on his head and just he doesn't care.
He's like, yeah, whatever. Okay,
he doesn't really care for Steppenwolf.
It's like he really didn't expect anything less, you know? It's like he was hoping he would win, but at the same time, it's like he's like, it's fucking Steppenwolf. Like I didn't expect him to do anything better. Like
he just steps on the head. He's like, yep, all right.
But yeah, just that whole visual of like Darkseid staring at the Justice League through the portal is like that's such a holy shit moment.
That is a comic book come to life.
You picture it in your head your whole life as a kid, and then you finally see it come to life on the big screen, and it's holy.
Well, I wasn't on the big screen, Luke.
Well, it should have been, but
I want to see him fuck all of them up like so badly. Like
exactly.
I was like, oh Zach, please tell me you added a scene where like Darkseid like fucking jumps through this portal and just mega beams all of them. Like Jesus Christ, I just want to see Darkseid fuck everything up. Like I really want to see more of this Darkseid.
I was seeing the dark side of Larry apparently.
Yeah. What do you mean?
I'm with Larry. I'm not gonna lie. I do want to see him fuck some shit up right now.
I just want to expose Darkseid like very badly.
Omega beam, boom, 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 boom. Then you see Batman get shot with the Omega beam. but like that wouldn't happen because it wouldn't have fit into the nightmare sequence.
That's true.
But it is what it is. But yes, we need to see some Dark Side material. I mean, they just did the comic book Dark Side, which is just cool, man.
Yeah.
Cool. No need to reinvent the wheel here. Just he does his pose with the hands behind his back. They just did the comic book Dark Side.
There's nothing else to say than Dark Side is, man. Like
he's just Dark Side. They just did Dark Side.
Dark Side is.
Yeah. Well, okay.
Well,
it's like where Tobey Maguire in Spider-Man 1, where he notices he has abs, and he's like, okay. You just move on.
Ava DuVernay, like, please make that fucking movie. Like, I want to see it so bad.
Yeah, we're gonna need that. We're gonna need that expeditiously.
Or I need Justice League 2 with Shazam, Atom, all the Green Lanterns, Darkseid, Apocalypse, all that shit. I need all of that.
We need Justice League, like, remember the scene from The Office where Michael Scott's, it's pretzel day and he just adds all the toppings? He goes, Can I have all of them?
Yep.
And it's like, yep, that's basically how I feel about Spider-Man No Way Home and about the Justice League sequels.
Just give me all of it.
Yep. You want Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield? Yep. You want Tom Hardy? Yep. You want Charlie Cox? Yep. Just all of them? Uncle Ben? Yep.
I want Japanese Spider-Man in it. All right. Throw that in.
Yep. All right. Cool. All of it.
Perfect.
Thank you. You want the works? Cool.
All right, but we have finally reached the epilogue.
The epilogue
finally.
time.
Now it's time to get into the real potatoes.
Oh God.
Luke mentioned the real quick. Luke mentioned the tape recorder, which is really special. I love that those were the closing words of the movie for me. Yeah, like, it was really awesome.
For me, everything after, like, with the Jesse Eisenberg scene and the nightmare sequence, that's all like, after credit stuff, basically, to me.
Yeah.
It's just, even though it wasn't actually after credit, that's how I saw it in my head, at least.
I mean, yeah, that's definitely what it was, pretty much. I mean,
yeah.
Jesse Eisenberg, that scene with Deathstroke, I actually thought Jesse Eisenberg did a good job.
I did too.
I didn't know he had that in him.
Well, I think it's because I'm starting to get the take a little bit more, because in Batman v Superman, he wasn't the Lex we know yet. He's slowly devolving into that.
I think, yeah. Oh, sorry. I glitched out there. But
it's okay. It happens.
But it's that shot, like, where it's like it's not him setting up Legion of Doom, even though we know that Zack wanted to do Legion of Doom, but like it's him setting up the Batman movie with. But
that hurts.
Yeah, that one hurts.
In the 2017 movie, for that line to be replaced with "Should we have a League of Our Own," which I think is kind of a cool line, but like still, it's like, man, they knew a while back that Ben wasn't coming back. Like, they knew for a while. And we just didn't know until, like, years later. Like, it was crazy.
I'm not gonna lie, I have a sneaking suspicion he's still gonna do more after the Flash. I have a feeling.
I got bad news.
What?
Warner Studios CEO Ann Sarnoff says thanks but no thanks to more Snyderverse.
Are you serious?
I appreciate that they love Zack's work, and we are very thankful for his many contributions to DC. Yep. So,
and they said that we won't be developing David Ayer's cut either.
Yep.
They say this? Oh my God.
Thanks for
poo-pooing on the party, huh?
I hate them so. They ruin everything, man. That's just that's upsetting.
Batman and Robin would have been a masterpiece if they didn't go in there in 1997. Just wanted to say that.
All I'm gonna say is I'm still not gonna lose hope that maybe we get something. That's all.
Yeah, they said this about the Snyder Cut before.
I know.
I know. We're just gonna do something with the Snyderverse. Just fucking turn it into an animated movie or a comic book or something. Turn it into a video game. Have us play as it. That'd be pretty fucking dope. You hire Rocksteady. Say, hey guys. Yeah, I'm just saying, but. The tone of this podcast just got very dour.
Yeah. That's actually that really depresses me a little bit, dude.
That's shitty. That's really shitty.
I wish I kind of waited to tell you. I just
it's
got
okay.
the alert.
It's okay. I mean, look, I think we kind of know that that's very much that's the reality right now, is that nothing's
Yeah.
happening. But I am still hopeful that something happens, because I think they'd be crazy not to do something, whether it be a comic or an animated something. Just do something. Like,
I mean, do they not like money?
I mean,
like
really,
money.
yeah.
Do they not like? Because that's a clear and easy moneymaker. This approved it alone. I mean, the amount of money they're gonna make from the Snyder Cut and the amount of popularity their streaming service is gonna get after. Keep in mind, they had a lot of problems with HBO Max where they were not getting even close to the amount of subscribers they wanted. I bet those numbers just shot up dramatically over the last couple weeks.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the 3-hit punch that I think that this Kong versus Godzilla and Mortal Kombat I think are going to do without service are going to be a lot. But I'm curious to see what's the deficit between, like, how many people signed up so they could watch the Snyder Cut and how many people signed up after the Snyder Cut so they could watch Godzilla or Mortal Kombat, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I'm curious.
Sarnoff throws cold water on an Ayer cut. Will we see David Ayer's cut of Suicide Squad? Answer: we won't be developing David Ayer's cut.
Like,
Here's all I'm gonna say is I don't particularly like David Ayer as a director, so that one doesn't speak to me how like the Snyder Cut did. I would be curious to see it, but I don't think that would have fixed that movie.
I'll say this: I know someone who saw the Ayer Cut during the initial screenings.
Yeah.
And I was told that it is truly a drastically different movie in tone.
I am certain on that. I mean, just look at the first trailer.
Exactly.
I mean,
the first trailer was
like they said, that is what that movie is. That first trailer is indicative of that original cut. So I would be interested just because of the fact I would like to see a better, more accurate take on what Joker should have been. I'm genuinely curious, but
me too. Yeah.
I agree though that I appreciate his work more, and I cared much more about the Snyder Cut than the Ayer Cut. But hey, I'll still gladly watch it if it ever comes out. Of course.
Absolutely. I mean, it's not like I'm gonna be like, oh no, I'm not gonna watch that. Like, absolutely, I would watch it. You know, even before I was like pro Snyder Cut, like I was like, even if it, I'm like, I don't know if it's gonna come out, but if it comes out, I'll watch it. Like, you know, it's like, but yeah,
very depressing. Very depressing. I regret telling you.
But Tom, remember, Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield aren't in Spider-Man 3 either. So, you know, it's just, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, but Charlie Cox is, so, we win. But yes, Slade Wilson, his name is Bruce Wayne. So now Deathstroke knows the identity of the Batman, #the Batman, but not anymore the Batman because Robert Pattinson is the Batman. So now Ben Affleck's going to need a new title.
Batman Arkham Asylum.
I would love that. I would shit my pants if that was ever announced, going to be honest. And then we do get, well, basically the epilogue just like wraps shit up. It's like,
we have the nightmare ones.
Yeah, besides the nightmare scene, we get one last scene with Henry Allen, Billy Crudup killing it. Your foot's in the door. I love Billy Crudup.
Yeah.
That's
nothing he knows.
I taught him nothing he knows.
Probably, and that's kind of a dark humor moment because he realized that he never got an opportunity to teach him anything because he was too busy in jail. Because for the murder of his wife.
I think it's. I love how Billy Crudup plays Henry Allen like a hippie dad. Like he's always going like, man, like, you know, I love it. I love it so much, and I hate that he's not going to be in Flash.
Me too, man.
I really pray to God that they can figure something out.
It's like, how much do they really need for him? Because like part of it, he's going to be like on a prison set, and
just figure it out, Andy. I'm talking
unless
to you.
They want Henry Allen to have like a huge role. That's the only thing I can think of.
Well, I mean, I guess once the flashpoint hits and like he reverses what happens, you know, you're gonna need Henry in scenes where he's outside of prison.
I guess it comes down to how much of that will there be. Like, does he just like, oh my God, Dad, you're out of prison, or like does Henry stick around for like a lot of the movie? I guess that's like the deciding factor on that.
Damn it! I just want Billy Crudup back. I will trade you one Amber Heard for one Billy Crudup.
I will trade you an Amber Heard and a Jared Leto for one Billy Crudup.
I would trade anything. So we got the update on by the way, on the Sony thing that Daniel was teasing.
It's just Resident Evil. I don't really care.
It's a new look to Resident Evil. So
not even a fucking trailer. I was on the money, but I wished it was a trailer.
He said that a trailer could be today as well, but if not today, then definitely soon.
I mean, like, I love Resident Evil, so like this is exciting to me. But like, I am like, give me more. Like, give me like, I want to see what this movie looks like because it's a couple months out now. It's like September. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like 6 months. So like, it'd be okay to like drop a teaser now. Yeah.
You know, it would have been nice to drop a Venom teaser as well, but whatever.
Today is the 25th anniversary of Resident Evil, so like, just drop the fucking trailer, like, make it explode our fucking heads, you know? Like, I want to see this shit.
My head is. I would prefer not to have an exploded head. Gonna be honest.
All right, let's cap this off with the nightmare sequence.
Yeah.
Let's get into the potatoes.
All right, here's my hot take. Here's my real quick hot take.
Okay, I might be with you on this, but let's see.
I'm gonna fire it up. I think that the scene itself is fine. I think they could have cut it down to like 2 minutes, and like there's a few things I would change just to hide like the budget. Like as soon as you realize you couldn't get Ezra Miller on set, don't show weird CGI Ezra Miller face. Keep the helmet closed and just have him like say a line, and just layer that over and put like a filter on it or something. You know, like just do that. But I thought the interaction with Joker and Batman was okay. I thought Jared Leto
was a little overhyped.
I appreciate the Robin reference.
I think Jared Leto is like a very try-hard actor generally. I think he's always just like actors have to make choices about how they're going to play the character. Jared Leto doesn't make choices. He makes choices. You know, like he makes like the shit that makes you go like, it makes me think like, oh my God, look, he's acting, which is like never what I want to do when I'm watching an actor. So I don't like him as an actor generally. So I will say this is the best his Joker's ever been. Granted, there's only been like one other fucking movie with it.
Would you rather have a turd that comes out of your ass in a painful way, or would you rather have a turd that comes out of your ass in a slightly less painful way?
Slightly less, obviously.
All right, there you go. Jared Leto's Joker. There you go. But yes,
I think there should have been. They hold on Joker so long, and like it's so obvious they only had some of the other actors for like hours. But I wish they had shot some reaction shots of like Ray Fisher just like watching them talk, because I just felt like it was like, wait, are they still in the scene? Because like I was kind of having trouble with like the space of it, just the space of like where they were within the context.
Well, maybe it's from Bruce's perspective, I guess you can say.
I suppose.
I would say that the dialogue itself was very good in that scene. I really liked what they were talking about, and I will say, knowing what it means in the context of what would have been future.
They probably could have had that conversation hiding, by the way.
Oh,
it would have been best for them to move to a secure location before having this talk.
So Superman didn't fucking show up exactly like how he did.
Yeah. So like with the beams pointing out, like with the heat vision locked on, I would have rather moved to a secure location. Hey, can we move this talk somewhere else? It's like when your phone rings and when you're in the movie theater. Probably a good idea to go to the hallway.
Yeah, true.
Yep.
Very true.
Hashtag hot take. Oh, really, it really is a hot take, because once Superman gets there, he's about to heat up some bitches. But yes.
Yeah. Oh, and that of course is just like a shot from BVS, which I don't think was integrated quite as well.
I think, caught on to that.
Yeah, I caught on to that one immediately. Mostly, I guess, because I had just watched BVS the day before this dropped. I was like, and it's a pretty prominent shot of Superman in the movie, so I was like, okay, I know where that shot's from. And I understand the situation that they were in. Henry Cavill's busy and whatnot. But I think you could have just done something like that shot where like he dropped down behind them, and then you just see like the eyes like glow or something. I think that would have been fine. I don't think you had to do the close up just because that moment did kind of take me out of it. But you know, it's better than nothing. I guess I would say. But I will say I think there were little things they could have done just to aid this scene overall, just to not make it as quite as jarring.
I appreciate Zack doing the scene though. I
appreciate it.
Yeah,
especially when WB didn't want him to do it, and he was like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna do it anyway."
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That's like, yep. You know, it's a fine scene. I have no issues with it. It's like, it feels like this movie has like 3 endings, which is kind of funny. It's like, yep, could have ended it there. Could have ended it there. All right, we're just gonna keep going and giving us more fan service. Speaking of fan service, Arkham was in it, and I appreciate that just because I'm a nerd for Arkham. So yes, and it's the Arkham home for the emotionally troubled, which is a Dark Knight Returns reference. Do you think Zack Snyder likes the Dark Knight Returns?
He loves it.
I think he's read it at least once. I mean,
I think he's got a poster of Frank Miller on his wall or some shit.
He has a shrine.
Yeah, it's just like, you see the Superman shrine? In real life, it's a Frank Miller shrine in Zack Snyder's home. But yeah,
I mean, to be fair, if I was directing a Batman movie, I would just shove all the shit from my favorite storylines in the comics. So like, absolutely, if Dark Knight Returns is like his favorite fucking Batman story, so of course he's going to use a shit ton from that. So
yeah.
I think it's neat that he just has like this. I think it's cute that he just has like such a succinct love for specifically the Dark Knight Returns.
Hey, I understand, man. I understand. I have a distinct love for the Arkham Asylum graphic novel by Grant Morrison.
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
Oh, trust me, I know you do.
Oh man, that's just like, we literally just wrote an Arkham script because that book exists. I'm like, yep. And I will still contend that the Killer Croc sequence I wrote in that script was like one of my favorite sequences, like action sequences I've ever written in anything, and I've written a few. So honestly, the best thing I've ever written was probably the Mad Hatter sequence at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Did you like it, Larry? Or the Two-Face scene? I really like it.
I would say I like the Two-Face scene a little bit more, but that's just because I like Two-Face and Batman being together. Like that's just like one of my favorite things about the comics. But I did like the Mad Hatter scene for sure. Yeah, it's been a while since I've read it. I'll have to read it again. Did we end up finishing the ending? I know I was supposed to do
Yes, I finished it up.
Yeah, I know I was supposed to do like the last scene, but then like I don't know, I think it just got like busy. I forgot.
Yeah, I finished it up. Don't worry.
Okay, good.
So it's complete. Luke has seen it, by the way.
I have. I did like it a lot.
Thank you. All right, but now Martian Manhunter scene. Ben Affleck looking great.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, he looks great in the cowl too. Good to see him in the Flash in next year.
Yeah, pretty exciting. Yeah.
Yes, and
yeah, it's a cool scene, but there wasn't much to it really. It's a tease for what.
It's just a good fan service moment.
Yeah,
Batman
exactly.
gets to meet Martian Manhunter.
Until we get, if we don't get a sequel, the way I'm going to look at this ending is that it's like the ending of a storyline in a comic book, and then you never picked up the next storyline, but you know that the story went on. You know, like you know that the story kept going.
It's a very hopeful ending, in my opinion. It just feels like things came together, and it feels like a crisis was averted, and it's just very nice.
On Earth, perhaps.
Oh my God! And Ezra Miller was in that, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. That was a great cameo.
What are our final reviews for this? How do you all feel? Do you have to give this out of 10?
Yeah, do we want to like give like our like where does this stand for us in the DCEU like ranking?
We'll wrap up with that.
I mean, for me, this is a 10 out of 10. Like, I freaking loved it. I am already looking forward to watching it again. There's a new black and white version that I'm looking forward to seeing that looks really gorgeous. So for me, here, let me pull up my letterbox real quick so I can remember exactly what my ranking was. But I believe, if I'm wrong, okay, yeah. So from bottom to top, least favorite to favorite, bottom, Suicide Squad, and Justice League are at the bottom. You could change either of these out. I just would say Suicide Squad is a bit less entertaining for me. It gives me kind of a headache.
Yeah.
The next two, Wonder Woman and Wonder Woman 1984 are both like 6 out of 10 movies to me. You could kind of interchange either of them. Birds of Prey, which was like a 7 out of 10 for me, really enjoyed. 7 out of 10 Man of Steel, 8 out of 10 Aquaman, just cause it's a fucking ride, man. Who cares? It's fucking entertaining. It's awesome. Who gives a shit? 8 out of 10 BVS Ultimate Edition. 9 out of 10 Shazam, and then 10 out of 10 this movie. And like, I don't think necessarily it's the best movie in here, but it's the one I think I enjoy the most. Overall.
I think I would have to say for me it is the best DCE movie as well. For me at least, I think even objectively speaking.
Shut the fuck up, Tom.
I'm kidding.
Get out of here, Tom. I think it's a phenomenal piece of art, and honestly, among all comic book films, going from Marvel to DC, I would say I think it's a top 10 comic book movie. I love it that much. I think it's such a masterful piece of storytelling, especially in context of what came before it and what could have been. So, with all that in mind, I am all in on that movie, and I couldn't have been more pleased, honestly. And overall, for DC rankings, I probably got, because me and Tom did an episode about this a long time ago, but I had Suicide Squad and Justice League at the bottom as well. Then I wasn't as big on Birds of Prey. I probably had that probably right after those. Wonder Woman above that, Aquaman above that, Shazam above that one, and then at the top I had Batman v Superman probably right with Shazam, and then I had Justice League. So that's probably where I was with that.
Awesome.
For me, I gave this a 4.5 out of 5. I love it very much, very much. It's kind of hard to place it for me, but it's in the top 2. It's either this or Shazam for me. I think this is I do think overall, those two movies, Shazam and Zack Snyder's Justice League, I think they're the most well-rounded movies. With good first act, second acts, and third acts. I just think it's they're just perfectly balanced. Hashtag Thanos. Yeah. So it's either first or second on my DC rankings. I really love it, and I'm getting this on 4K. And
me too.
Me too, mate. Me
too. Can't wait for that home release, even though it's on HBO Max. Don't care. Just gonna buy it just because I want it.
I'm also probably gonna get that new version of BVS whenever that finally drops on 4K, just because I don't have BVS on 4K and I'd like it on 4K. So,
boom. Yep. What a great movie! What a great episode! This was 2 hours and 10 minutes.
Is that the longest? Is that the longest episode you've ever had? Or
it's a long ass episode, and we're only half. And if you were watching Zack Snyder's Justice League as you were going along with this episode, you're only halfway done. So just enjoy that.
Yeah, I need to go and get some food. I'm starving.
Right. I am. Me as well. Yes.
This has been a fun episode as always. Tom, you have any last remarks?
Yeah. Batman's cool. So I'll see you guys whenever.
Yes.
Absolutely.
This has been a great episode as always, but until next time, this has been another episode of Cape Time. See you, everybody.
Peace.
All right. Awesome. See you.